Alright, and here we are. It is I, the Red Muffler Man, and today I have with me the one and only Ace Vitalu Pilot. Vutalo Pilot. I will say it correctly one of these days. Ace Vutalo Pilot. Ace Vutalo Pilot.
It's okay, I'm waiting for someone to confuse me with Vindaloo.
I mean, I said Vitali and I feel really dumb.
It's alright.
Oh, baby. Also, what up, Occult? What up, Raider? Oh, man. It always feels weird when I go onto the Newtype Academy streams because I'm just like, oh, hey, it's the people that just hop into my streams.
We're just leeching off of your viewers.
Oh, God. But, let me do a quick thing here. Ooh. Doing some replay review! Exclamation point. Okay, there we go. I have everything tweeted out now. So at this point, so can you walk me through here what we're kind of going to be doing today, Ace?
Right, so we have 5 replays of matches that we played last Saturday in the Newtype Academy Flight School session. And we're going to just take a look at some different perspectives of these videos. Everyday Legend was nice enough to compile these for us.
He's a hero.
He is, and so we'll be using that to go through different parts of the videos that may indicate moments of like poor usage of boost, and give us moments where we can like tell people, hey, this is probably how you could have spent your boost better in this sequence of events, or maybe have committed some better positioning so that you may not have been punished as much.
Alright, and then I guess without further ado, shall we get started?
I'm ready whenever you are.
Alright, and then let's head on over to the main scene. We're gonna swoo. Okay. So we are transitioned. I have just a random match open at the moment, but I don't know which one we're wanting to start at.
Let's leave this one actually. Let's start at the one, I think maybe 001.
Okay. Let's turn up this volume. Hey, is that coming through okay for you over Discord?
I am hearing you just fine.
No, as in like the video stream I have going over Discord.
The video is also going just fine.
Video's going just fine? Okay, groovy. That is what I like to hear. And now I'm going to do one quick little thing here. And we will be groovy.
I'm actually going to do a quick little thing.
Oh.
Oh, wrong layer.
Oh, you're doing a draw-on thing?
I was trying to see if I could get it to work.
Alright. It should be working. I tested it, and it was working when I fucked with it.
Oh, I have the eraser selected. So
I did the exact same thing. I did the exact same thing. There we go. Yeah. Okay,
technology.
So we have technology. I also I have remote play pulled up in case we have to explain anything.
Right, that's good.
So anywho, I'm gonna go back, and so okay, this was when we were kind of fucking around in like the third match at this point, and for those that don't know, the way we handled, I guess I could call it the exam last weekend. I'll just call it that for now. We played people with their characters to kind of show them the types of tools that they had and how they could better utilize everything, and or see like a proper way that a suit is meant to be played with like, you know, versus what they were already doing. And so eventually, if they didn't know something, then they could see it in action. And so that led to us just mirror matching with everything.
Yeah, basically what we were hoping to draw out was like, okay, so maybe someone is new and learning this suit and the game, but let's see how someone who pretty much is really familiar with the game is coming to this suit, whether they know it or not, and just see the different ways of how you see maybe movement or some people playing with it.
But without further ado, I guess, let's get started. and this is the third match, and so this is essentially just a normal match that we're having at this point.
Yeah, all these matches are basically just simulations of a normal match.
And what perspective would you like me to start on?
I think this is a good perspective from our students' GPO3. We'd probably see some movement issues that they have. So like here, early on, they started taking on a lot of height. I'm not sure there was a lot of need for them to get this height. And it happened to work against them because they got clipped on that Phantom.
Gotcha.
Which ultimately led to them getting sniped by GPO3.
I do, however, like the fact that they're being really calm, despite the fact that they got clipped. They're definitely playing pretty far back, which is what you want to... That's the big thing you want to take advantage of with GPO3 is that his red lock is huge, and you can essentially make it longer with cancel chains.
And after he got clipped earlier, he started staying lower, and it wasn't until he committed some height and some boost that he got clipped in the air again and down. I'd say at this point, though, he's probably playing a little too passively with respect to his partner. His partner's already died once, and he has a burst that he should be using. So there's a lot of pushing power that we're not seeing from GPO3. I think overall his movement in the latter half is pretty safe. Like that was a safe landing. He did some
safe landing. He's still not bursted yet.
He still hasn't bursted. He's sitting on that really hard. I think he's hoping he may need to like tech out of it for attack or something. But
well, at this point he definitely has to because he doesn't have a life to give.
Yeah, he's hoarded his boost for so long that he has no other viable options to keep it. And here we go. He techs out.
Okay. So flip out, struggling, manages to punish you. Alright. Verniers.
Yeah,
definitely... I'm gonna have to go over a few parts of that again, but I feel like Garaby use isn't quite there yet. That Garaby is very particular with how you have to use it, I feel. Because while the muzzle correction and shit on it is, like, really, really good, you definitely have to be using it at someone who is either not directly looking at you, or you're having to hit someone that is, like, explicitly verniering. But usually if they're verniering, it also leads to you have to shoot someone that's not looking at you.
It can capture like really bad landings too.
Yes.
But in most cases, I don't think me or you took like super bad landings. It was probably just one, and I think he got that punish off, but he still got clipped by it because he was like really vulnerable, high in the air, in the middle of the map.
Ha. All right, so let's go back to the start. Let's go back to the start here. So, boop, 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 boop. Okay.
Last thing in general, I would just say that like he was trying to like put some presence up at first, but after he gets like zoomed it down this one bit of clip, sniped, he pulls back really hard and doesn't really commit anything else. So there's really very little presence from him for the rest of the match.
I can definitely say that here at the start, I know you're talking about, oh, he shouldn't have gotten like as much height, but I feel that because he was using the fast fall with that, I feel like the height was not necessarily a bad idea, if only because he was using the fast fall and that allowed him to move further back because he was higher in the air so that he could maintain a safer spacing, at least for this instance.
I can see that.
It also helps to better line up the shots with GPO3, because I can say right now, shots with GPO3 are a lot easier to land from a higher angle. So I think that this is actually not too bad of a play to get this much height from this far away.
Yeah.
Especially when you have your big scary front to back you up.
I can see that.
So I think here, like, that actually wasn't too bad. And he did get the hit on you, so, like, I think that definitely worked out.
It did work.
But that was the issue right there, because I think what happened here is...
He got a detonation cable for some reason.
So what he had wanted to do there is, I remember exactly what happened. I had explained to him the BC CSA fast fall. And I think he was trying to utilize that, but he did not get the CSA because he wasn't used to doing it in that particular situation, and then he got clipped for it. However, had he done the CSA fast fall properly, he actually would have been in a really good position.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I think he got 2 CSA, and so because of that, he got clipped. But if he had done that properly, he would have been in a fantastic position.
No, I agree now. That's really good.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out earlier because I was like, wait a minute, that didn't look right from what you had pointed out. So, but overall, like, he gets clipped there by my 2 CSA.
Yeah.
But that's only because he messed up the
He got-
fastball.
Yeah,
Literally, had he been used to doing that, I think that this honestly would have been completely fine. He'd still be at full health, and we'd be more or less even, although I think because of his partner getting hit a bunch, that we would have been in a slight advantage.
I thought he landed that Garubi on me earlier, but I was wrong.
He did not, because that's the... So one thing I want to say about this Garo. As GPO3 was the suit that I kind of learned this particular version of the game with, I actually think that you were almost spot on with that. I feel like you definitely have to be a little preemptive with the Garo, because even though it's fast, it still takes a bit of time to come out. While it's it's not like super duper fast like fucking Full Sabers, where Full Sabers feels goddamn instantaneous.
Yeah.
With this one, you definitely have to predict landings sometimes. Although I don't exactly think that was, like, you know, a bad Garo per se. It's just the timing was slightly off. But, you know.
I think he was just a little late. That was a good BC, though. He got that charge shot, I think.
And right here, that BC CSA was actually really, really good.
Yeah.
But
he backs and dashes
the backwards boost. So I guess in that situation, that's just nitpicking, though, because that's just like... I want to say, though, just for future reference... let me see here. Let me get back to that.
It's a little hard for him to actually defend himself here because he's vector locked too. He can't really step left or right. His instinct to go backwards probably was on point.
I think that he could have potentially done either a Fua step to the left or the right, or like a Fua step back potentially.
I believe I'm also you're also firing at him here, so I don't think he has that option. Because we could see you're dead looking at no, you didn't fire at him. So he could have gotten out from that, it seems.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was thinking Fua step back, though, because at the very least that could have cut tracking.
Yeah.
But anywho, that's small nitpicking. I think overall, Blue Moonstar, and I thought this as well when we were playing with him. Generally, I thought he was being relatively safe and doing a pretty good job overall with playing the suit with, you know, a couple of execution errors here and there. But I think the biggest issue with the way this game went the way it did is literally at this point, you are sitting on E-Burst with a modest enough amount of health. And I think at this point, what you needed to do was offensively pop E-Burst and go in. Like, especially with a 2.5, 2.5 comp, which is a strange comp, but it is a comp with advantages. So you definitely have to make sure that you're utilizing your half bursts.
I mean, spoiler for next time, talk about burst then. But yeah, at a certain point, it's just like you have to use a burst either offensively if you're not going to use it defensively. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just not getting anything from it.
Yeah. So I would say the biggest takeaway I think from this match for the GPO3 is literally use your half burst and don't be afraid to take that life. Because I feel like if you had moved up with your burst, you would have given your partner some opportunities for some leverage. So, like, for example, I want to go back here a bit.
Yeah.
So, I want to say, around here, your partner is still relatively healthy at around this point. You have 195 HP. At this point, you could have moved up and bursted, and then that makes an opportunity to where both your partner and you were bursted. So you are going to force damage one way or another.
I agree, because here we see him get some shots off, and you're just taking like pot shots at him and eventually hit his partner. But he probably could have provided more pressure on you if he had like the threat of burst right there.
Yeah, right, exactly. And like at that, but that was like literally the one good opportunity I feel you had to really burst. Because your partner had also gotten hit and burst, and so that made things a little difficult. And so at this point, your partner had taken too much HP, and so at this point, I think you're actually playing right still. where you had misplayed earlier by not bursting, but because you didn't burst and your partner ended up taking so much damage, at this point you had to save the burst, so I'm not going to give you too much flack for that.
Strategically, I'm of a different opinion. I think if you miss an opportunity to play offensive, that just means you have to manage to play more offensive later on, because there's a really big point deficit here now.
Yeah, because this is definitely really hard to come back from. But the big reason why I bring it up is because of this right here, actually. Because it's like, where he's such low HP, he has to be able to have the flip, I think, at this point, if they want to even try to make something happen.
Yeah.
However, like I said, overall, I think that the GPO3 did pretty much fine, and the only two things I would say, or the three things I would say, if you are in the chat right now, is just work on the execution for BC Fast Fault and make sure you don't actually get 2 CSA. Learning when to properly go in by looking at your HP values, and then using half burst. You just have to fucking burst. But overall, I think a lot of the movement, a lot of the decision making with just like playing safe, I think worked out.
Yeah, I think he had pretty good access to his boost gauge overall. So, I mean, I just have to agree with your points. I think mainly the one where you're talking about, like, going in well, because there are definitely some points where it's like, you know, you probably could be a little more aggressive on these punishes, because your partner's game pretty aggressive too, and, like, that's room for you to follow up with him.
Yeah, because if you had burst, so like when your partner had bursted out of that combo, if you had also bursted, you would have been able to definitely do some damage and potentially score a kill far sooner. So that way you, one, would have been able to really make something happen a lot sooner. But you, as well as your partner, may have potentially gotten another burst. But because you didn't go in and didn't get that, and didn't use that burst, you're basically missing out on a lot of extra damage, as well as a lot of extra opportunities to make opportunities, I suppose. You're basically missing out on chances, because you only got to burst one time that game. And yeah,
it's like
GPO3 is hella fun.
It's literally every shot, you miss every shot you don't take, and I felt like you had a couple of good shots you didn't take.
Alright. But now, I think I think I've covered everything that I really want to cover with the GPO3, because like I said, I really want to give props to just the safe movement. You were preserving your HP pool really well.
I agree.
And I feel like that's very hard to do for a lot of people, myself included. So like, I think you already have like a lot of the fundamental shit, and it's just kind of like cleaning up a couple of things, and then knowing when to go in. And I think if you get that stuff, you are going to see fucking dubs.
I'll say that, like, if the composition was like GPO3 Master, like, Master would be way more aggressive, and that would have actually been really great HP preservation on your part too.
Yes, exactly.
So I think you have a lot of the good soft skills. It's more of like just teammate contextual skills you're getting in here, and I think if you just keep practicing, you'll get it.
I think so as well. Cleaning up, almost said cleaning up your alcohol or something. Oh, bro, I can't clean up the alcohol. Oh man, I'm working on a video about that. Okay, so now we're swapping over, and we're going to be going over to the Lonely God 4, who is playing the Phantom.
The Phantom. Good old font.
Alright, so that's actually one thing I want to bring up right off the bat.
What'd you see?
I kind of understand what you're going for here with the round start fan shot.
I see.
I don't quite agree with it, though.
I have to say it's kind of same, because I think your ammo reload is a little slow on it. It's good, but it's a little slow. Now, I tried to impart to him the importance of being able to use mobile armor mode from dashes and jumps as a way to extend your movement.
Oh, as in like going in and out of MA mode for the cheap movement?
Yeah. So we probably see some practice here, like he did just then.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a little difficult for him to manage 2 targets at once. So I do feel for him actually here.
All right, so just kind of like.
He stayed committed, so it worked out for him in the end. That was a point where his partner could have assisted him, and we see how GPO3 was able to get him because GPO3 wasn't appropriately pressured by Blue Moonstar.
So this is one thing I do want to say off the bat is for some people, I think they would see it as a negative. But the way I see it is you've already come to this intersection, essentially. You're at half boost, and you're just like, if you land at this point with people around you, you're going to get punished. So I liked the fact that even though you had, technically already gone in too deep, you fully committed, like how Ace said. And so because of that, you were actually able to get a hit and struggle out a little longer to create an opportunity.
Yeah, I think they made the most of what they found themselves in.
Yeah, there are literally times where you just have to struggle out no matter what. And I think my friend Lukewarm Holiday has an analogy that I very much like for situations like this, where when you're at a stoplight, you don't just... If you pull out when the light's red, you don't fucking stop. You just have to keep going if you fuck up. Because if you stop, you're going to take a lot more damage than if you just keep going a lot of the time.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's how I feel about it too. It's like, I don't want to grind to a halt in the middle of the stoplight.
Exactly. So I definitely like the decision-making there. But just getting back to the match, so we're not going to microanalyze too much until the second time through.
Yeah.
Good use of NA mode there. But
I totally agree.
Until you didn't land.
Yeah. There was a good landing there. He did. It was a good counter to that.
Ooh, jeez. Everyone's going in. Let's go.
It's time. It's now or never.
Oh, was that the super?
Oh, that was just a CC.
Is that just a CCAB? Okay, I actually forgot what his melee combos even look like.
Yeah, he only gets like a flashy CCAB.
Okay. So, let's go back at the beginning here, because I feel it's definitely a much different beast than what we were looking at from the GPO3.
It really is.
Yes. There's a fair share of good decisions and a fair share of questionable ones.
I think a lot of it's driven by some positioning he ends up in, trying to use the mobile armor exploit I told him about, and that's because I've done that, trying to learn mobile armor transitions.
All right, so this is another thing I wanted to point out. Even like it was the first thing I noticed, and I think it literally could just be either a slight movement error or just not being quite used to the spacing. But when you throw out like a big committal move, you always want to make like something like this. You always definitely want to make sure that you're in red lock, because that small little error there cost you a knockdown and like 130 HP.
Maybe you missed the camera change, I don't know, but it did cost you here.
That is what I was wondering, if he just missed like a camera change or something.
Possibly.
Bam, back to it. Yeah, I feel like at that point, just, you're cool to kind of chill back for a little bit still, just as long as you're holding attention.
So he goes back to being a little neutral here, trades, kinda, it's a bit of a poor trade.
Probably thought he was 1 frame away from red lock or so. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That was sort of lack of awareness of Phantom.
Okay, I want to go back to here.
Right here.
So right around here, it's like he had taken that first hit, but he was still relatively fine up to this point. And then this is where I think it all starts to kind of go to shit.
I agree. I know what's coming next. Right.
Yeah, and then he takes the 2 CSA, and then all of a sudden, 1,000,000 damage. So, in terms of fronting, And this is something that I feel comes up a lot more often with melee suits than any other suit, I feel. When you are fronting with the type of suit that GPO3 is usually, GPO3 is usually sticking close to your back because it's harder for him to really go in on people because he has a very ranged focused kit and he has a really big red lock, so he wants to take advantage of that. And so he's usually trying to stick behind his partner to make use of the openings that the partner forces. But that also usually means that you're being 2v1'd if you're the front. And so, in a situation like this where both people are focusing you, you want to avoid verniering as much as you can. And you want to stay on the move, and you want to stay hard to hit. Because even if you do manage to trade damage here like this, it's just not worth taking the damage for something that you could potentially... when potentially you could get that same damage without getting hit by catching someone else trying to overextend on you.
Like, you're going to be doing more to try to get your opponent to misplay, and you can't really do that if you stand still.
Yes. So the big thing I would say is when you're fronting and you're in this neutral position. In fact, you know what? It's time to draw. It's time to cook.
It's time.
So, let me... First, let's change to a different OST here. I'm gonna change up the music a bit here, just for the sake of my own sanity.
Do some Toho. Cyrano,
I was about to pull up Embodiment of the Scarlet Devil, so...
Wow.
I literally just pulled up Cherno's theme. I am a genius. Let it be known that I am the smartest man that has ever fucking lived. Okay. So. Anywho. I have this pulled up. So let's say I have purple. So let's say right here, I'm going to draw a box. Right here. So this is the arena. I'm trying to... Okay. So, essentially, you are here, and your partner, GPO3, is back here supporting you. And then, in Big Baby Blue, here's Ace, and then here's me. Now, when you're the front, both of the enemy units are usually going to be gunning for you. And so you're going to... And so the way to think about that is a lot of the time, depending on their positioning, they're going to be in situations where if you are not focusing explicitly on just, like, moving, then you are going to get hit, essentially. And you usually have to look for opportunities that either your partner affords for you by the fact that they're not getting looked at, or the opportunity of someone trying to overextend on you that you can punish them for, and then relying on your partner to be able to have your back in case the other partner tries to cut you, essentially. So, for example, let's say GPO3 positions themselves over here in, like, what is essentially an L formation. If they shoot you from here, and then Ace is shooting you from here, if you Vernier, like, essentially what you did there with the Peacock Smasher, then you are going to get hit from both sides no matter what. So a lot of the time in situations like this, you just want to work on movement, utilizing a good boost hop here and there to make sure that you don't get vector locked, or like Fua stepping, or just doing something evasive. You want to focus on evasion when you are trying to hold the line. And that's a lot of the time what you're going to be doing as a front, is just sort of slowly pushing forward, holding the line, and then when you see an opportunity where someone's trying to overextend on you, or you see an opportunity where you feel you can utilize your boost to make an opportunity for your partner, then you go in and you can try to make something happen and not have to worry as much about playing evasively. But usually when you're in, like, just this neutral position, you want to just try your best to just focus on not getting hit. And that's a lot of the, I guess, fronting 101, I suppose, is what I could call that.
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with that.
Do you, so does everyone understand what I'm talking about, essentially? Or do I need to go a little more into detail? Because I feel like I was decently concise there. However, you know, I should ask the homies, make sure I'm not going too fast or over people's heads in some way.
You have at least Raider going with you.
Okay,
No,
cool,
it's like
cool.
it's like that one person in lecture, like they're the only one that responds. Oh, and Cyborg. Thank you, Cyborg.
Okay, cool. Because as long as people kind of understand what I'm going with there. Because now back to the example. Because what I just laid out there on paper, or on screen, I guess I should say, is essentially what just happened here. My mouse is on screen. So you have me over here, and then you have Ace over here. And we were both shooting at the same time at different angles. And so essentially, because of that, since you weren't able to focus on just sheer movement, then you ended up taking a lot more damage than you should have. And that was like one of the first really good clean hits that you had gotten on Ace. But that was like the second or third hit that we had managed to get on you. So at this point, this was where the match really, really swung in terms of that.
Like, if you had decided to continue going left, or even better, right, to stay in formation in front of your GPO3 here, you would have been more able to easily avoid both of these shots, I think.
Mm-hmm. And you're still learning how to apply your knowledge on stuff like that in matches. That is super understandable. It's just pointing out this type of stuff. You are DM7650 in-game, and I think you're the next match. Gotcha.
Possibly. I can't remember if I scooped up... I know I scooped up one of yours.
Yo, Chunga, what up?
Chunga.
He is a homie of mine, a fellow streamer.
Nice.
But yeah, so essentially, that... I don't know even if you're in chat right now, Lonely God, but if you are, that would be the biggest thing I think I could recommend to you right now is... slow down a bit, I think. Slow down a bit. Don't worry as much about trying to force a lot of opportunities as much as just all right, let me rephrase this. Don't worry so much about poking. You don't really need to poke all that much with Phantom, I feel.
No, and GPO3 is going to be picking up that slack for you if you end up avoiding damage.
Yeah, as long as you're able to avoid damage and stop people from chasing after your back, then you're going to be in a good position. Now, granted, you're normally not going to be fronting with Phantom. So, that is also a completely valid point, because this is normally like a surprise attack suit. However, this is still shit that will carry over, because even when you're in like a 3K, 2.5K comp, there are times where you're going to have to front with your 2.5K.
Yeah.
So, it's shit like that is a good thing to keep in mind. And just being able to move evasively and knowing that when people are looking at you, that you don't need to shoot back. You can literally just deal with moving around, staying on angle, trying to shoot people, and you're gonna generally be fine. But getting back to it. So we're back in the crossfire situation. You get buffed. Immediately pick up the ground. Step boost dash. Okay. I want to say this is also one of the biggest things that I've noticed about your gameplay here.
Spends a lot of...
You spend a lot of boost... I want to say so far the two biggest things I've seen. You're spending a lot of boost, and you're not landing in situations that would be very good for you. Because at this point, when you step boost, you should just feel free to land there, and then just reset your boost gauge, and then keep going. But you instead kind of dragged it all the way out while we were just sort of like boosting around, taking landings. But the worst thing is, and this is the other thing I wanted to point out, you were shooting at people in green lock. So essentially, the shots that you were taking were also kind of just having no real effect on the game state in the first place. So you were utilizing all this movement, and you're spending your ammo, but you're not really affecting anything. So I think I go again to what I was saying previously. Don't worry so much about getting stuff out on the screen a bit here. Don't be afraid to slow down a bit. Now, granted, you didn't get punished here, but then you got punished immediately afterward by situational awareness. Now, I'm really curious as to what happened here, though.
Earlier, though, he did, like, end up in poor formation. Like,
Yes.
he didn't have GPO3 with him, and there's a really strong L arc up here.
Oh, yeah, we have a really big L formation set up here.
Yeah.
You aren't even looking at Ace, and then he manages to pop spooky
I managed to
phantom
sneak
mode.
attack.
You
And
pretty
I'm
much
front.
sneak attack. So that was definitely... That's definitely spooky, but it's also one of those things where... I'm trying to think here, just... It could just be that because of how scrambly it was, you were like, oh god, I have to look at different targets, what's happening? And then in that confusion, you just end up getting a hit that you probably weren't expecting to take. Like, you knew he was there, but because you weren't directly looking at him for like a second, you kind of psyched yourself out and ended up just getting hit, because I know that feeling, because I do it all the time.
Yeah.
So I can relate to that. And then you ended up verniering, which basically costed you your life there. And then the other thing I'll say is half bursting, but I feel like I'm going to be saying half burst all night. And then verniering again. Just a lot of unsafe options right now, in general. But now you're in sicko mode, so you're allowed to take more unsafe options.
I honestly felt like you were fine until you tried to then also attack GPO3.
Let me see here. So let me see here. Then you got that.
Maybe not.
No,
Maybe
here's the thing. That's why I was saying earlier, where I was actually happy that he chose to just struggle out, because he was going to get punished, I think, regardless there.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly.
I personally think that was not a bad move. To just be like, okay, I'm gonna get punished anyways. I may as well just continue struggling and see where it gets me.
I think you're right on that.
And then you full burst out, which again, I'm gonna say this. I'm sorry that I keep stopping and starting so much, so I'm gonna go back a little bit, and then we're just gonna kind of go through from here. There's just a lot of stuff to point out. There's a lot of shit to point out.
I'm getting vertigo.
I'm so sorry. But essentially, for those that have played through arcade mode, there's a quote that Stasia says that says, you know, sometimes you should just use your burst the moment you get it, because it's really good. That's actually some of the best advice that this game gives you.
It really is.
Literally, the moment you get your burst, unless you are in, like, really low red HP, like, really, 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 really low HP, just do it. Literally slap the Nike symbol onto your forehead and just fucking burst. Literally, if you just half burst, it means you're gonna get at least one more burst before the end of the match. At least. If you play really well, you get 3 half bursts. And 3 half bursts is huge. That is 3 huge pushes where you are able to more or less guarantee damage in a lot of situations. And like, as a front, that is goddamn huge. As a back, it's also still pretty huge. You're probably not going to get 3, but you can get at least 2. 1 to use for an offensive push, 1 to use for a flip out if you're using E-Burst. But
if you're not sure what to do with your burst, just pop it and keep strafing left or right, whatever seems safer.
yes.
And shooting, it's really that strong.
1.5Ks can do more than 3, honestly. How far are we in replays? We're not super far yet. We're still on the first one, although we're about to finish the first one.
We are about to finish the first one.
Yeah, because right now we're just going over the perspective of the Phantom. But essentially, the moment you get your half burst, so I'm going to go here. So it's, at this point, you're at 244. You end up getting caught in crossfire. You're at 98. On one hand, I could say maybe you shouldn't. However, if you had kept looking at Ace and popped your half burst, there's actually a good chance you would have beaten him out here, rather than just dying and then end up in a situation where you don't end up using your half burst. But even if you didn't hold it, I still don't think it's, you know, even if you did hold it, I think that's fine. At this point, you literally should have just boosted towards someone, been like, bah! And then pop your F burst immediately afterward to force damage on someone. Like, you need to spend that half burst as fast as you can, because I feel like even if you had spent it here, you would have at least gotten another half burst, especially because you died twice. So, just remember, fucking half burst. It is very, 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 very much a fucking, oh god, my brain here. It is a win condition. That is a win condition in this game in general, is if you are half bursting, you are fulfilling a invisible win condition.
I think like just position wise, you'd have a lot of advantage if you just like use F burst, close a little distance, super, and rush GPU 3.
Yes.
But we're looking at the other Phantom. He is quick to regroup with GPU 3 though.
He's quick to regroup, but he still uses a lot, like just way too much boost, and he's just not landing.
Yeah.
Now, granted, here, I still think he's fine. He minimized his damage. And now he's getting bursted on, though, which Ace is using his half burst, meaning he's... And right there, he forced a ton of damage with that.
Yeah.
And now you're in a really bad spot because of that one half burst. And I have also taken, like, no damage because I'm the best. Alright, let me see what happened. Okay, so you managed to actually beat out the shooting guard because it just ran out. So, you know, good on you for that.
Yeah, he soaked it up with a Peacock Smash.
Yeah. Alright. Good awareness to use your burst here.
It was good.
And look at that. Because you used your half burst and you're using it offensively instead of to flip out, you had a good chunk of time, and you actually made a big dent in both of our HP pools. It's a little too late, but if you can do that more.
It's like if you had another one of those, you may have turned it.
Which again, like, you're gonna find that a lot, I think, with like lower and mid-level Gundam play. People that half burst steal games. But I think, honestly, just the two biggest things that I would see is land more, be more willing to land in blue and yellow. You don't have to use up all of your boost gauge immediately. Like, just slow down a bit and half burst. Those two things, you will steal games. No lie.
Don't use the strong Vernier moves if you're near the front.
Yes, that as well. I meant to... That's what I also meant by slow down, but I should be more specific there. And, like, be careful with your Vernier moves, and just focus more on movement. So, land more, move more, Vernier less. And those would be the three big things that I would have to say for your movement, and then the other thing would just be half burst and murder.
Yeah, don't forget the murder.
Don't forget the murder is... Sometimes murder is fine.
Dial in.
Also, Raider, I just want to say, or Cyborg, I should say, it does depend on the 1.5k, but usually 1.5ks can be a lot more liberal with their burst usage. Because that's literally what makes them good, is that because they take multiple lives, a lot of 1.5ks can get, like, what, 4 bursts, usually? If they go, like, super ham?
Yeah, you can see it 4, possibly 5 if you're really good.
Exactly. So, like, but if you're talking like a 3k or like a 2.5k front, your goal is 2 half bursts. Your super duper bonus time goal is 3, which it is possible to get 3. You just have to be really on point.
You'll be seeing 3 half bursts if you're playing like really competitive matches with someone and the game is almost going to time out or something.
Alright, but So we've basically gone through that replay. We shouldn't have to cover our perspectives too much, I think, unless there's anything in particular you want to point out.
No, I mainly picked these so that we're winning, and so that most of the errors will be on, the losing team.
Okay, so what replay next? Or also, before I go, Lonely God 4 and Blue Monster or Blue Moonstar? Blue Moonstar. If you guys are in chat right now, do you have any questions about any of the shit that we brought up, or anything in particular about suits that might be confusing to you?
And if you don't and you just see this later, you can ask us in Discord about it.
Yes, that is also something that can happen as well. But if not, then I guess we can move on to M002.
Yeah.
Alright. I don't see any questions, so I guess we're moving on. So what is this one? Oh, I remember this one. This one.
Yeah, this one has a really interesting choice at the end.
Okay. So, what perspective do we want first? The Dark Hound or the Unicorn?
Let's find this unicorn is good, actually. So let's go with.
Go with what? Sorry, you were really quiet there.
Sorry. Unicorn here is good.
Okay. So let's start from the beginning. Oh, can you, do you have mod privileges?
I do. I'm about to slap that guy.
Slapping.
No, I don't want to add friend. Oh wait. No, I don't have mod privileges.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure I do. Slap!
Been slapped. I'm gonna see if I think I have the login for the proper Twitch, so
alright, if you do, that's helpful. Also, thank you for the person that said ear destruction in the last video, because I finally figured out audio limiters, thankfully. So it's great. Now I can actually yell on stream and not physically hurt people.
Your feedback is helpful.
Yes. Okay. So, are you good?
I didn't get signed into it yet. I'm trying to hold it up here. Here we go.
Alright. Not even my father hit me.
There we go. I'm in.
I'm in. You've always shown up for the ear destruction? Oh, baby.
Oh.
Alright, so here we go. So Unicorn, taking up some space, shooting in Greenlock, but it's Unicorn, so if you fire a few shots in Greenlock, it's not all that bad, because you're not exactly wasting ammo.
And you can reload it manually. It's not the worst thing.
Alright, decent job holding the line here. Gets a landing punished, so not a huge deal, though.
That was a good counter. You traded there. You and the other unicorn are equivalent HP.
Yeah. So far, this is actually pretty clean. A little too much Vernier shooting, and ooh, that was a bad time to pop NTD.
You used NTD too late. You should have popped it first, then go after that Dark Hound. And you kind of just whip in the air here.
Alright. So first burst from Ace.
You're saying on a shooting burst. It's really good in NTD mode. It's really good in normal mode.
It's really good in normal mode. Ooh, yeah, and we're gonna go back to just burst.
Need that burst.
But, you see now, if you spend your burst here... If
you pop it here...
Oh no.
There's a lot of it.
I can relate though, because I used to do this.
No. See, that was really good damage. You could have gotten that earlier.
Okay, there you go. I was about to say.
You get the Dark Hound kill.
You got the Dark Hound kill, so you made that count.
You thought, let's do it again, except you're not in S-Burst anymore.
And this.
That
I remember what happens here. You keep
chasing Dark Hound. I don't like this. Darkhound is not giving you permission to hit him, so you're not.
You are not going to hit Darkhound. So then you pop NTD.
Like, there's a perfectly good unicorn trying to fire at you. You get some advantage here, but it's too late. You've already been pea-shooted in the back.
Yeah, so literally, because you were trying to go for the game-winning kill, you ended up taking over 300 damage by not looking at the big scary man with the gun.
He takes about, like, 500 HP from just trying to chase Darkhound. It costs him that much.
Oh yeah, he does actually. It's over 500 HP in ignoring the big scary man with the gun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Those B Magnum Zundas hurt.
You tried to stop Unicorn, but you couldn't. It's hard, dude. It's legit hard, and I don't blame you. Especially because you were also at 130 HP, because you also came in overcosted. And when Darkhound's overcosted in that situation, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. But okay, let's go back from the beginning, and I'm gonna kind of try to break down a few things for the Unicorn, because I know that there's one thing off the bat that I think if you there are two things off the bat that if you implemented, your life's gonna be a lot easier with Unicorn. And I'm gonna wait for it to come up here. Overall, I'm gonna say right now, your ability to kind of play neutral and hold the line, I think is actually pretty good.
I like how you go straight for the Darkhound. Like, you're immediately saying, hey, I'm going to threaten the lower cost, and you have to deal with me, or else he's going to be running from me the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're in a good formation here, and you get a shot on me. You just Vernier and eat a B Magnum for it.
Mm-hmm. Alright, you take a landing there in yellow. I respect it still, even though you did get punished for it.
And you turn the table here.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you are in a really good position with your movement. Your positioning's on point. But this is very similar to the last gameplay we looked at.
Yeah.
You need to focus on staying on angle. Does Unicorn have assist fastfall? He does. Yes. And it's a very, very strong assist fastfall.
It is one of the best. Or, well, maybe not the best.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It has it in both normal and NTD. Yes, it has it in both
right.
normal and NTD. But the big thing I would say here is you use Unicorn, but the thing that makes Unicorn very strong is because he has ACA, since we just brought that up, that's auto-facing. So literally, it allows Unicorn, no matter what position he's in, to always be on angle and not have to Vernier for super long and then immediately plop down to the ground.
Instead of Vernier or main, you could have done ACA and fastfall, and you may have avoided a punish coming up here. Oh, you corrected yourself. I thought you got hit in the back. Sorry.
Okay, never mind. I also thought he got hit in the back there. I'm a big dummy. He still did.
Anyway.
He took some damage though.
Anyway, I definitely
there's another
think
one though.
I definitely think you should have NTD earlier. That would have changed a lot of what goes on here.
Yes. Ooh, okay. And this is more or less what I was talking about. Because you didn't get the assist fastfall, you instead called assist into boost main. You got all the shots out, but you could have landed a lot earlier, and then when you started shooting, you went off angle. And this costs you a good amount, because you're just sort of stalling and you're losing positioning. And then, however, your Darkhound's doing a really good job, I think, of covering for you.
Yeah,
in this particular situation.
He's like taking advantage of the fact that you're in NTD mode and you're a threat.
Yeah.
Let him be more aggressive too.
You're getting away with a lot of the Vernier mains, actually. And that was just an unfortunate deactivation. It was a very unfortunate deactivation. And now, and then this is the part where we're like, bro, burst. Look at how long you had this burst. You had so much HP.
Yeah, like there was a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure that you could have applied and missed out on here.
And
like, this would be a really good exchange. I think.
This would have been a great place to burst. Oh, this would have been a fantastic place
right there. Like, that was so vulnerable on me.
And then you have full beam magnums for the damage. And you're in a position now where if you do burst, it's difficult because you might drop in burst. But now you can burst, but you're not here. And now... Yeah, I think going for the Dark Hound right now is actually like a good call here because you're not exactly an NTD yet, so you can't chase as easily.
Yeah,
I do believe that this works out for him. Yeah, it definitely works out for him here.
He turns it for his favor. I just think he would have gotten more out of it if he did it sooner.
Yeah. So if you had bursted sooner, I think you would have won this match, actually. No trip. But now I'm just chilling. And I know I can afford to stay chilling here as Darkhound, because you don't have burst to threaten it. You literally, a lot of the time, can only really catch a Darkhound who doesn't want to get hit by just getting really close up into his grill, or by being able to threaten with burst.
You've also been sitting on NTD for a while, too, and
NTD would help as well.
That would give you some ability here. Have a habit of using NTD than getting shot in the back, so it's
Okay, the two things I think I would want to point out then. Because honestly, overall, that was... Okay, three things I want to point out. Because overall, that was actually, I think, really solid.
Let me go first.
Go ahead.
I want to say something. If you have a buff state, like maybe it's Hyperion's Bishi, he gets his shield, or it's NTD or Unicorn, or it's full cloth's charge shot main and B. You want to use those when you're in a safe position before you start making some pattern of movement towards a target. You want to use those before you start it because you want to have a full boost gauge to like capitalize on like any extra momentum or like any movement you'll be doing to take advantage of that. And it like you just don't want to be doing it in the midair like our unicorn friend has been too.
Okay,
because that leaves you like really vulnerable to getting sniped somehow.
That actually is more or less what I was gonna say. Is that if you have something like NTD, or just an activated mode, or a pack swap, because this is also something that I had to learn the hard way with Impulse.
That's true too.
Try to do it earlier in your sequence, or better yet, do something like step and activate, or step into pack swap, and then just boost and fucking land.
Yeah.
And then from there, you have a full boost gauge to do whatever you want with.
Yeah.
So literally, before you had gone in, if you had just done step, NTD, and then either a boost to land, or a boost into assist fastfall if someone was coming at you, you'd be in a great position. But the three things I would say is try to use activated mode earlier in your sequence so that you have more of a boost bar to play with. Work on staying on angle and better utilizing assist fastfall so that it is easier to stay on angle so you don't get caught with your pants down, Vernier shooting your main. And utilize the minimap and try not to tunnel vision for the win a lot of the time. Because one big thing is if you start chasing someone who's low HP, they are low HP. So if they're a good player, they know for a fact that they are target priority number one. So if you chase after them just a little bit and force them to run away, you can then target swap to their partner and then are able to force a 2v1. And if their partner decides to go in and try to protect them, they are opening themselves up. So it is very difficult for an overcosted partner to really contribute, especially Darkhound. Like, Darkhound can kind of go in and he can do something. He can, like, maybe go into the edge of Redlock and, like, chuck a CSA. Or he can, like, assist in Vastfall and kind of, like, move in and out. But overall, like, he's just going to be kind of peppering you, and he's not going to be able to do, like, a big damage swing.
Like, watch that from my perspective. Like, how
from, like, 500 HP onward?
Yeah, like, right here.
Alright.
Here we go. I still haven't started looking at him yet, but...
No, it's okay. You're bullying Darkhound. You got the kill.
There we go.
And now, it's tunnel vision time. Right, exactly there, what I was talking about. He literally shot at Darkhound for a little bit
That's me.
to scare him. No, that's what I was talking.
Oh,
when I say he,
sorry.
I mean you. I mean you. Yeah. He literally shot at Darkhound for a little bit to scare him away. And then immediately was like, okay, your partner's not here anymore. I am now going to focus on you.
Because right now you're chasing a low-cost, low-HP Darkhound with very little success, and I have a lot of room to hit you.
And even if Darkhound manages to get hits on him, he's not going to be able to do as much of a damage to him. Meanwhile, Unicorn is going to do a lot more damage to the Unicorn that is almost dead.
Yeah.
So in that situation, had you focused on Unicorn and focused on defending yourself from Unicorn, you would have gotten a lot more playtime.
Yeah, and that's just more chance for you to like turn the tables, because it was pretty close.
No, that was a very literally, you would have won that game if you had half bursted, I think. And if you had half bursted to be able to make a push sooner, and if you had the awareness to look at the Unicorn that was trying to kill you. And those are the two major things, and then the minor thing would be work on keeping your facing and utilizing your assist fast fall better.
I completely agree. I think that would really add probably some of the more game-changing components to how we saw Unicorn play out here.
Yeah, because like with Unicorn, he is the kind of suit where if you do not maintain facing, you will die if people are looking at you and you don't have a partner to cover you. But anywho, now we're going to go to DM's point of view, who is currently in the chat. Hello, DM.
Hi, DM. You come here often?
Oh, you can hop into my DMs whenever you want. Oh, Lord.
No! Not like that.
Not like this. Ah. Just as a friendo. Friendo. Okay. Playing evasive.
This was good. This is good play.
Yeah. You are being really chill. That boomerang was a little sus.
The boomerang was fine.
Was it?
I think so too. It's like if I didn't get hit, my other option would be to go straight towards Starcount and try to threaten him a little.
Okay, because the way I see the boomerang was he wasn't quite close enough, and Unicorn wasn't exactly approaching him. And so usually with boomerang, the two places I like to use boomerang are to confirm a main into a down, or as a self-defense tool when people are coming at me, because I feel like it is one of, if not Darkhound's best self-defense tool.
I'll defer to you. You play more Darkhound than I do, so...
Like, Boomerang's really important, and I feel the cooldown on it is long enough to be annoying.
Oh, I do see that now. That's a pretty slow tick on a Boomerang.
Yeah, so it's...
I was thinking more like Infinite Justice or something.
Yeah, it's an annoying cooldown, and that's why I like to kind of hold Boomerang. Honestly, that was a misclick. Fair.
Yeah.
This is a suit that is easy to misinput with. Okay, overall, though, this is really clean movement. You've taken literally 16 damage.
Yeah.
And you're peppering, and you're getting damage. You're making sure that your partner is consistently able to not just be double locked constantly.
That was a good interception, attempt to intercept.
Good CSA.
Good.
You didn't quite get the down. Honestly, sometimes if you hit the CSA and it's awkward, I wouldn't even bother going for the down.
Yeah, that wasn't distance. I'd say I could close in on that.
But honestly, like, the fact that you still went for the down, I don't think is, like, terrible.
It didn't hurt you too much.
Yeah.
That
hurt a lot, but we'll go back to that.
I feel like that could have
that situation could have gone a little differently. But overall, you're poking from max range with your machine gun. Really good. Good half burst.
Good offensive
Good half burst. Let's go. You made a really big push here. Yeah.
I don't care that you got shot in the back 3 times. You had extend up.
Yeah. See that? That's the stuff. That's how you use E-Burst. That is exactly how you use E-Burst. Good struggle out. You used everything that you had to use in that situation.
You stalled pretty good on it.
Yeah. I have very few complaints there. And now you have to basically just chill and play Not Die Simulator. But now things are getting a little dicey. Now it's time to move up. You're recognizing that it looks like, yeah. But it's also still just too little too late in that regard. But overall, damn. I don't have a ton of complaints there.
I thought your gameplay was actually really excellent.
All right, hang on. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. Really? Let me try to think of everything that I could point out, other than just...
I don't want to be here all night, so maybe not everything.
No, not everything. There's not a lot to actually point out. There's not a lot to point out.
I'm just... Panic.
Panic.
I think you managed to pretty well, DM.
Yeah, honestly, you're just playing in formation really well here. This is actually fucking, I feel, pretty textbook.
I mean, we were saying that, like, up to here, your formation was really tight, both you and Unicorn.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I remember taking a shit ton of damage I shouldn't have taken. In the first half of this game, you were definitely the superior Dark Hound.
I can see why you wanted to go for the melee. You were out of the MG ammo there.
Well, it's also just the fact that he thought it was going to combo.
Yeah.
He was attempting to go for the CSA combo. But I want to go back to that actually real quick, because there's a different option you could have done here.
I'm a simpleton. I'm like, oh, I don't have main, just push B.
So you realize at this point that you're out of MG, you can actually still cancel into AC. And if you had canceled into AC from this, you could have actually gotten the down. Because you could have done AC, boost dash into BC, and that would have gotten you a full down. But that's a nitpick. That's like a nitpick of like realizing, oh no, I'm out of ammo, what do I do?
That's some optimization stuff.
That's definitely just a small optimization.
It's still like, could have been a good thing.
Keep hearing the Ronald McDonald version of UNO in his hair. Alright, and I think this is actually the biggest blunder that you make in terms of execution. Is... Oh no, I shot out of angle. This is fine. Oh no!
Ooh.
And suddenly you take a melee combo's worth of damage because Unicorn is fair. He actually is fair, but goddamn, B Magnum just chunks your HP like crazy.
B Magnum really deprives you of morale.
Really does. It's like you take one Zunda from a Beam Magnum and you're just like, wow. Guess I'll die. But then you half burst here and it's real good. Yo, okay, there's one other thing I think that I should probably point out. More fast fall usage with assist. Because you're doing a lot of assist call into boost. And in this situation, I want to say it was in this last assist call that you threw. Okay, here, you literally could have boosted up to someone. Like, you could have boosted up to me, or Unicorn in this case, and do boost dash, step assist main. And you could have taken the most aggressive of landings and been super in boost advantage. But that's just another, like, small optimization, and that's, like, one of my favorite uses of that fast fall with Dark Hound. It's either that or just, like, boost hop towards someone or away from someone, and then just step assist main. But, like, that's actually one thing I could say that could help a lot with checkmating people. Because just doing assist into boost dash and then not getting anything off of it, you're actually missing out on a lot of opportunities that the suit is afforded. Especially because your assist is auto-facing, like Unicorns. So you're able to use that assist whenever you want and stay auto-faced. So in another situation, because you know how you were in that one situation earlier where you ended up verniering from your machine gun? You actually wouldn't have had to have worried about that if you had just done step assist main. If you had done that, there's a chance you would have gotten out of that situation and not gotten duffed by the Beam Magnum Zunda. But instead, you're just sort of You're sort of squandering your assist usage by not utilizing the fastball properly. Yeah, because you're not using it all that much. Yeah. So the biggest things I would keep in mind, I feel like your positioning is relatively fine. You knew that you had to go in, but it was a little too late. And really the only other thing I could point out off the top of my head at this point, optimization on your knockdowns, a little better use of boomerang with your cancel chains, and better use of your fast falls. And I think if you manage to make better use of those, you will be in a much better place. And spend all your matches after that practicing the fast fall. You know what? That's respectable. Okay. But I think that's all for this replay. Unless anyone has any questions. We'll keep the boomerang help in mind. Thank you very much. It's all good, fam. And, like, also, don't forget about, from boomerang, you can cancel into assist, which also cancels into main. And that cancel chain is stupid. That cancel chain is, like, I feel almost Sandrock levels of stupid. Because literally, if someone is, like, so if someone's used half their boost gauge, or, like, even a little bit less than half, you can literally step, AC, assist, main. Or you can main into AC, into assist, into main. And you're just like, okay, you better use a bunch of boost to avoid all of this, or you will die. Like, it is oppressive.
Basically, you throw in hands with that.
Yeah. That is Darkhound's ace in the hole for forcing damage, in my opinion. Like, you use that when you really, really, really want to force someone to get hit. Because, like, it uses your boomerang, it uses an assist, it uses a lot of ammo, but it covers so many different landing timings that it is definitely worth using. Because even if just a few of your machine gun bullets hit, the first few staggers of the machine gun will be enough for the rest of that string to connect. And if anything connects even after the first volley of machine gun, it's still all going to combo into a knockdown. Yeah, keep that cancel route in mind. It's very, very good. Alright, so I guess number 3?
Let's do it.
Let's fucking go. And sorry if I'm, like, getting, like, really long-winded, by the way. There's just a lot that I have in my brain.
Don't worry, I have a timer. If it elapses, I tell you to shut up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't. I'm a better debate moderator, you see.
Alright, so whose perspective are we wanting to go through to here?
Let's start with Red Frame Custom. One-Eyed Dragons, I think.
Yeah. Look, this is... I have things I can talk about, but we'll talk about that later. So, what? I could have known a little extra to tell the Red Frame, and I apologize to you in advance for that if you're in the chat, and I'll inform you now. However, I do think I gave him some relatively sound advice. Alright. So the advice that I gave him going in was... Oh, no, it's fine. I thought I did bad, but I'm happy you guys liked your movement and burn. No, you actually did really, really good, I feel. Like, honestly. Darkhound's also just a hard suit. Okay. So the big advice that I gave him in this third match, because I'm assuming this is the third match, is that you don't have to go in as hard as you were, and that you can use the dash, and then you can use a Fua Step from the command dash to disengage. And he started kind of doing that a bit more. And he takes a good landing. I BC because I'm a gorilla.
Yeah, he's a 2B on that one. Or the BC, I forget which one it is on Barbatus.
The hop?
Yeah.
2B.
Barbatus hop.
Yeah, it's 2B. It's 2B. Alright. Little overextension here, but you have burst, but you don't pop. Okay, you popped it, but it was a little late. It was spooky.
Yeah, I saw him coming for me, so I started using a lot of hops.
saw him coming for me, so I started blasting. But you have F-Burst, so I started blasting. Oh, F-Burst Barbatos, I just realized.
Yeah, I was thinking like I can probably do enough with May. I'm gonna try to capitalize on like discrete melee opportunities.
Ah, okay. Alright.
Honestly, I expect like I'll just say it like this. It's like a strategic choice for me to sometimes pick like E or F bursts when maybe other people would pick something like shooting or a different traditional burst.
Oh, honestly, I think for top level Barbatos, sorry, this is off topic. I actually think for top level Barbatos, you want to go E.
Yeah. Oh no, I would agree. But I think that like in a skill disparity, like this sort of situation, I actually just give myself more advantage in like running something like F, because I would expect more close range opportunities. Because I kind of expect unskilled, not unskilled, but less players with less than 10 years of experience, like me playing,
yes,
to try to like misjudge the distance that I have on them.
Alright, so right here, I like what you're doing at the start here a lot.
I like how he disengaged there.
You threaten, but then you're like, no, I'm good. And I think that was a very, very good play there. You
like
go in, but you end up getting hit, but you're still attracting attention. So I like that. And then this, I don't know if this was like a misinput, like you were maybe wanting to go for a command dash or something, or if you did the AC on purpose. I'm going to say this right now. His pressure is, I'm not going to say it's garbage, but it's not super great.
I think if you don't get the super armor abuse like you were hoping for here, I don't really like that pressure.
Well, his pressure doesn't even have armor, so it's like...
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
like, I'm saying I don't like that as a kit component. Not that, the action he did. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. No, okay, cool. Because, like, so one thing I want to point out, because, I don't actually know if that was a misinput. With Red Frame's pressure, the way that I like to use it, and there's a point where I did use it later in the set, I like to use it when I think someone is going to try to run away. Because it's a very good tool for catching someone trying to run out of melee distance. But other than that, it is very niche, and a lot of the time will get you hit. So I think you're better off, in this situation, I think you're better off just teching away and then trying to reset back into neutral and grouping back up with your partner. Or just trying to boost away and shoot at the red frame, because if you tried to shoot at the red frame, his partner was also chasing, so you could have potentially capitalized. It was one of the two, but I think disengaging may have just been a good idea all around there. But you catch me overextending, and this is the one thing I told him last time. I felt like his red frame combos were actually pretty clean in the amount of damage that he was doing. And anytime he got a hit on me, he made it count.
He did.
And I feel like that's a big part of this suit. You take a really good landing there, and I feel like you actually made a very good choice here. The only thing is that you did not account for the super armor. And you tried to take an aggressive landing, and I called it out. But that's fine. That just sort of happens. Sometimes you try to go for an aggressive landing, and it gets called out. I don't necessarily think that that was a bad decision. Though I will say, and it's broken record time, so you get that hit. All right, we're chilling. You hit the... Oh, look at that. You suddenly have burst. Now would be a good time to use it. All right, you've reset. You have 136 HP. This would have been a fantastic place to use burst.
Yes.
But
guess what?
You missed
could have had melee coming out really fast and probably beaten that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But now everyone else is bursting. And
You have a half burst.
you have a full burst now.
Oh, he does have a full burst now.
So this is another thing where if you had used your half burst a lot earlier.
See, I even used my half burst to get more boost back to keep doing 2B, so I stall an encounter with you.
It is incredible. It is incredible. And like, because you used your burst in that way and he held onto it for so long, his burst is almost gone and he's only gotten like one good melee combo out of a full burst.
You've done 141 damage in your burst window and a full burst.
And now you are not getting another burst, potentially, for the rest of this match. You might be able to squeeze one out here. Might. But it's going to be... And no, you don't actually, because you lose the match because you both die at the same time.
Yep.
Alright. You had some good approaches. Be more willing, I think, to disengage. And then the other thing that I forgot to mention to you last time, because so whenever I used Red Frame, I always had the habit of stepping out of Command Dash. You can actually just cancel into fucking whatever from Command Dash.
You can't.
Wait, what? Did you say can or can't?
Can.
Yeah, okay. My brain, like, I had like a, wait a minute. I had like a Phoenix Wright Newtype flash of just like...
No, no, that's a trait it shares with normal Red Frame, too.
Yeah. And like, I'm pretty sure I saw you use it a couple times. But like a really good approach that you can do is if someone has used up a lot of boost already, you can go main AC, do your Command Dash, and then immediately just BC at someone. And it, a lot of times, depending on how much boost they have already spent, turns into a checkmate situation. It is incredibly oppressive. And it can pretty much steal out a lot of games for you. But the other thing that I would take into account is the thing that I told you in the session earlier, which is don't be afraid to main AC and then foo a hop back or boost away and just disengage and try to see if you can bait movement out of other people.
Man, I don't know how you can remember what you told people like almost a week ago. I can barely remember if or what I had for breakfast.
I am able to remember it because I am watching the gameplay and it is jogging my memory of everything.
Oh, I just remember what happened in that match.
Yeah. But essentially, I think all of that was fine. And I think if you did less engagements, that you'd be able to hold on to a little more boost. And in general, you would have a little more playtime. You'll hear me say that a lot of just like, oh, you expand your playtime in terms of making the match go longer and having more opportunities. And that's kind of like a big part of it. Yes, definitely check out Holly's video on using eBurst. It is a very, very good video. But overall, like, you were actually picking good places to get hits a lot of the time. And anytime you did get a hit, you made it count into, like, a high damage confirm.
This is what I was talking about, like, he only got one.
Yeah, you only got, like, 100 off of that at first.
Yeah.
But be more willing to disengage. Make use of the cancel chain from Command Dash into BC. And, for the love of God, half burst.
Please.
And those are the three main things. And then also, less AC when people are, like, right next to you. You want to use AC to try to catch people coming towards you with reckless melee, but more along the line, I feel it is a better tool to catch people that are running away from you. Like, you boost up towards someone and then you AC, and if you guess right that they're going to try to keep running away from you, then you're just like, oh, got him, GG's.
The way I use most command dashes is similar to how, like, Goldframe will use theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, they'll use it as, like, a sneak attack sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I just feel like command dashes are that sort of thing. I want to close a lot of distance on someone who's, you know, not really paying attention to me or trying to get away from me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And, like, I will say that while I don't think 2.5k, 2k is a very common team comp, I
hate it.
I think that Red Frame Kai is a suit that is built to the point to where it can front in things like 2.5, 1.5, or 2.5, 2.5.
Yeah, like
so
I
a lot of the advice that I give is, I feel, pretty relevant for fronting with it, but also a lot of it is good for backing as well, I feel. Like this, like, when you're backing, you want to think more along the lines of what Ace was talking about, where if someone's not looking at you, you just command dash into someone and be all like, okay, bitch, I'm gonna command dash BC, what are you gonna do, shoot me? And then you do 1,000,000 damage, and you're like, ah, yes, the serotonin has flooded my brain with good feel chemicals. But in general, don't be afraid to disengage. Use your cancel chains a little better, which I neglected to tell you last time, and I apologize for that. Less AC in terms of, like, the pressure. And then half burst. And those would be the things I think to focus on for Red Frame Kai. But I guess now we can move on to Barbatos.
think so.
Alright.
Yeah, big thing I told him about is using Barbatos' break cancel here.
Yeah, the Pyongkyaku. Or Pyongkan, or whatever it's called.
I don't know what the name is.
Alright. Out of angle shot. I feel like you tried to move up a little too early with Barbatos.
Yeah, I did tell him to try to keep pace with Red Frame Custom, which I think for this particular comp worked against him. Well, not specifically Red Frame
in
Custom,
terms
but
of moving up, I'm just talking more along the lines of, I think the melee attempt was a little off.
Did he make a melee attempt?
No, he makes a melee attempt. I wouldn't normally go back, but I'm gonna go back here. So right here. So he moves up with Red Frame, and then he goes and tries
You're
to.
right.
Yes.
That is what gets him.
Yes, and that is exactly what got him. Is he went for the melee, and it was not a good call to make.
Main the sub would probably been more serviceable.
Yes. Just main sub, boost away. That's a lot of what Barbatos is, I feel.
Like, look at how good that sub hits. It's a good follow-up on that.
Very good follow-up, a lot of damage. And then
Good
good
cover.
follow-up off of the partner. Let's go.
Those were the moments I'm talking about.
And then this is where I get the gorilla a bunch, but it doesn't matter. And you
keep
stop me
off.
from fucking messing
With-
with your face.
With the half burst.
Let's go. All right. Good play overall.
Here's Jumpin' Frenzy.
Oh my god. It's a madhouse.
This is one of those tough points, but you figure it out.
Yeah.
Those. Oh, you interrupt your partner. That's sad.
That just happens sometimes.
it happens.
Trigger discipline is a learned skill.
I still shoot people in the back.
I also still shoot people in the back. Alright. I definitely know the biggest thing that I can comment on. And that's staying on angle.
I think so too. I see a lot of like off shots there.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that one. That was the one doomed you too.
I'm gonna ask, I don't think I was noticing it. Was there any main into 2B?
Main into 2B? No, I didn't see that. I didn't see a main to 2B cancel.
Because one of Barbatos' primary tools, and it's a tool that every single version of Barbatos has, except Lupus.
So two.
Well, you know, every single version of Barbatos that matters.
It's not.
is
It's not like Setsuna. He doesn't have 6 suits.
But essentially with Barbatos and Barbatos Lupus Rex, you can do main into 2B as a cancel. And because Barbatos has a break cancel, you can do main, 2B, land, or get close to the ground, step, and then main again. And it's a really, really good sequence.
You should take that to the remote play.
Oh, you know what? I should, actually. But there's one other thing I wanted to point out as well through the replay, and then after that I can hit remote play, I think.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, the other thing I wanted to point out is you're utilizing a lot of 2B, and that's good. There is a particular part of his kit you are not utilizing, though, and that is his command dash.
TBH, I don't use it much myself either.
The command dash is incredible. Mostly because Barbatos' biggest weakness is he's very low ammo.
Yeah.
But what the command dash does is you can go main, command dash main, and it makes a 3-shot down into a 2-shot down. So from a situation like here, for example, it's like right after this, you get the shot. If you had done main, AC main, that was a knockdown, and you would have been able to immediately just land right afterward.
I can't remember if I mentioned the command dash to him, actually, so that may be my...
The command dash is a very important part of Barbatos' kit.
I may have, like, assumed he already knew it.
Okay, and there's like 2 parts, and there's multiple reasons why the command dash is important. Because, there's a phrase I'll use a lot, but I'll cover that a little more once I'm in remote play. But, let's see here. Good use of the assist. You're struggling out. You're an overheat, but it's a scramble, so no one's going to punish you for it.
He smoothly dodges, so it's good.
But you're doing a really good job on capitalizing on what your partner is doing, because they're being very aggressive.
I think so.
Could have potentially landed there a little earlier, but no one was looking at me, so it was fine. Okay, and there's the first command dash usage that I've seen.
This is the...
And this is the scramble,
the pew-pew.
the pew-pews, and then...
Killing.
Yeah, okay. Really, I feel a lot of that came down to not utilizing absolutely everything that the kit was capable of, or that the suit was capable of, I feel. There's because like you have like most of the puzzle, and I feel like you were overall generally positioned pretty well, and you were capitalizing on a lot of things. But because you were kind of missing one crucial part, it didn't quite turn out the way it could have. But you were half bursting. You were doing a lot of good shit there. So let me kind of back up all of my shit talk here.
I mean, I'll be honest, I make some of the similar mistakes too, bouncing between like 100 different suits. I just forget to use like, hey, this really good, cool thing on this guy is pretty heckin' useful.
Yeah. Alright, so if I were you, Ace, I would pay attention to the actual stream, because this isn't going to show up on the Discord.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So it won't be exactly in sync with you, but it will be enough.
It'll work. I'll live.
It'll buff out. It's good enough for government work.
I'll watch, here, I'll draw you some supportive imagery.
Too bad there's like none of that on here, on this one, I think.
Damn.
I'm a genius. Also, I can't see chat right now, so if anyone has any questions, as I struggle to find Barbatos. There he is. Also, my apologies. There's going to be a little bit of input delay, but it'll be fine. It'll all buff out. So, here's Barbatos. In arcades, he was A tier, and he was A tier for a reason. And I feel like a lot of that is because of the fact that his main just fucking curves, and it hits in places where it really shouldn't, because of just how good physical ammo is. But Barbatos can also really punch above his weight class in terms of movement, in the sense that because he has his command dash, which he uses. So one good use of command dash is main, command dash, main. And notice how even if you just shoot one shot of the command dash main, it actually just red downs. But if you do main, command dash main, you get a yellow down, and it's like full damage. That is what you want to use a lot of the time in place of a zoom down. But you can take this one step further and main, command dash main, and so you can go from like the edge of redlock, so like right about here, and be all like bam bam, and both of your shots will track even when you exit into greenlock. So Barbatos can be very, very hit in a way.
This gun behind the wall. Oh, fixed it.
Okay.
Nice.
But anywho, Barbatos can be very hit in a way with his command dash, but also you can do, like, if someone's not looking at you, you can move in, and in that situation where you were chasing down, I think it was red, yeah, you were chasing down red frame, if you would use the command dash instead of just boosting toward me with main, there's a big chance you could have hit me even with a melee. But I think you would have been better off just doing main command dash and then just boosting away.
Yeah.
Because this command dash is incredible. But
I can see how that works.
But another great thing about this command dash is it actually allows him to overheat stall. So let's say I use up all of my boost being like, oh no. Or, oh no, I've used all of my boost, whatever shall I do? You can basically retreat with no boost by going command dash, block, command dash, block, command dash, block. And what that does is because you're constantly air stalling, but you still also have offensive options during the command dash, even if you have no boost left, you still have the option to move. So overheat is actually less of an issue for the suit. And then, of course, you have the command dash thing of you can command dash towards someone and be like, you know what, I don't want to be here. And you go swoosing pretty far because the momentum from command dash is pretty good. So overall, I feel like if you utilize the command dash a little more in your gameplay, you will have a much easier time converting downs and a much easier time conserving ammo. Because one of the issues that Barbatos has is because he's so low ammo, that if you fully commit to doing a Zunda, you're not able to get another down until your ammo comes back or you have to blow assist. And you only have 2 assists at any given time. So the assist can be kind of a commitment. And you have CSA. And CSA is pretty good to chuck out at like Edge of Greenlock, because it also cancels into command dash. But, you know, you want to make sure, because main is literally the defining trait of this, the defining tool of this kit, that you want to save as much main as you can. Because main is a huge deal with this kit.
Man, that's abusive.
And then, of course, also, if you want to use the break cancel, you also still have that. And so you have a lot of options to punch above your weight class and cheat the boost gauge with this suit. It's an incredibly good suit with a lot of options. A lot of the time, literally, I will just sort of dance at the edge of Redlock and just shoot command dash, toward her away, shoot another shot, and then just be like, yeah, you know what, I'm good. And all of that will track, even if you shoot the second shot in Greenlock. So, like, the suit has fucking options. And the only thing I think that I would recommend for most people that want to pick up this suit at lower levels is just remember that your melee is not very good priority, so you only want to go for melee when you are 100% confident that it is either a landing punish or that no one is looking at you and you think you can sneak it in. But even then, I think in that second scenario, melee a lot of the time is not very worth it, personally. So a lot of the time, I'll tell a lot of people, Barbatos is a shooty suit with very high melee. And thus concludes my TED Talk on Barbatosu. On Barbara's toes. Okay, let's go back to the main scene. Swoos. RMM. Encouraging cheating live on stream. Oh, jeez. If you don't utilize the command dash, then you are Barbatos. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that was vanilla 2K Barbatos. Yes. Yeah, Rex is the DLC one. But yeah, a big part of all of the Barbatos kits in general, Barbatos suits, is you want to utilize their special movement, because that's probably the two defining traits I feel are the fact that they have physical ammo, so they all have really good tracking, and they all have special movements. And you want to use a lot of the special movement with these suits, because they're just, it's really strong and it's really oppressive, and it lets you get away with a lot of stuff. And I think that if you would use that a little better, it also would have prevented you from verniering. Because even if you vernier shoot with Barbatos for your first shot, it's actually not the end of the world, because you can actually just cancel into command dash and be like, oh no, I verniered. You could just command dash backward or command dash towards someone and be like, what's a vernier?
What's a vernier?
Yeah. Doesn't physical get beaten by beams? Yes. But the thing is, the tracking on physical ammo is really good, and because the tracking on beam shots are not quite as good, the odds of you shooting into a regular beam rifle shot and getting your shot vaporized isn't very high.
Like, they won't follow the same trajectory. Also, Barbatos's missiles have the benefit, or bullets, whatever they are, have the benefit of being pretty small.
Yes. So they're actually really hard to hit, and most of the time, if they get eaten, it's usually gonna be just because someone threw out like a super preemptive get obi.
Yeah.
And it just gets eaten by that. So, like, I wouldn't worry too much about your shots getting eaten frequently.
I'd only worry about that ever if you're, like, a machine gun suit. And
Machine
again,
gun
that's really,
suits...
that's really more of, like, a Garobi thing for me. I don't have that much problem with main weapons.
Yeah, but, Krieg, I hope you are in chat. If not, if you have any questions, let me know. Same with One-Eyed Dragon 6. But that basically covers everything that I wanted to talk about with Barbatos. Because I know Barbatos is, he's deceptively simple, but there's actually a decent amount to him. Like I said, he has a lot of cheating movement, and I think it's great.
That is better excited.
But I guess with that, are we ready to go into the fourth replay?
I think we are.
Okay. Sorry if that took a little while. There was just a lot to cover with the command dash movement. Because there's a lot. Wait. What the heck? Was that the fourth replay? I guess it was. So we're on the fifth.
Did we hit them?
Oh. Wait a minute. The fourth replay is the same match.
Yeah, I think that was an accident.
Yeah, whoops.
Well,
looks like the wrong match got encoded, fellas.
It's okay. We'll go to 5. I can't remember what 4th was. Anyway.
Yeah, on the Google storage link, I saw it being uploaded twice. RIP. Oh, that's one match we won't have to review, but that's fine. We're still getting a lot of information out of this. Oh shit, no. It's DM and Lonely God. DM is playing BD1, and then we have Age 1.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Damn, man. Audio mixing is hard. This YouTube volume sucks. Anyway. Alright. So, perspective... So this was definitely after everything else was done. This is like a post-match game. Or a post-session game, I should say.
Yeah, it was just some, like, hanging around past the timer sort of stuff.
Yeah, I got beat by projectiles during that quite often. I have 2K bonus. It'll pass, but curves into the target, unlike bar. Yeah.
Yeah, talking about Atlas compared to...
Yeah, Atlas command dash.
Atlas is a little too, I don't like Atlas too much, personally.
I think Atlas is a good boy. I'm a fan. But, I am going to raise you up slightly. Okay. So, last match, do we want to focus first on BD1 or Age 1?
Let's look at BD1.
Okay. I noticed that DM seems to like to play the MGCs. Oh, he does not get the cancel. And I missed my confirm, but I stayed safe. A lot of height. Ooh, yeah, that was a bad place to get height.
I was camping that his landings for a bit.
Added to the dishes. Did we go through all teams' replays? We went through a select 5, but it looks like one of the replays got messed up. So we were only able to go through 4. And this is the last replay.
We'll also be uploading this pod.
Yeah, we also have the bod, so. So the BD1 hasn't had much of a chance to really do much of anything.
Yeah, he had a good idea, switching off targets while his opponent was keeping Rex occupied. He maybe could have gotten some boost back at first and not have overcommitted to overheat like that.
But there's also just a lot of Vernier shooting going on.
Yeah, and that's something you do have to learn how to avoid on MG suits. You have to be really
sure.
good with their firing angles.
Like, less Vernier shooting, but then also you really have to be on point with this suit with a very specific cancel. And I can kind of explain that in the next go.
I'm not too familiar with BE1 specifics, actually.
Yeah, they didn't cover the F91 match, I think. Yeah, we didn't cover any of the F91 matches, it looks like.
Oh, I did select. It was an F91 match I selected, I think.
Oh, no!
We had like 2 of them. I think I picked one of those. It's okay though. There hasn't been a patch, so we can conceivably get it encoded and do it another time.
Okay. Well, anyway, we shall cover BD1 here, and then we'll get the sauce. Oh my god, my fucking reaction to the F91 X1 session, holy shit. It was so good, it was so pure, where I was like, oh god, oh no, oops, I'll see book. Alright, so you're starting off here, kind of just holding the line, and right here, immediately, you would overextend it super hard. And
Mid to duck out of it though, so props.
you did manage to duck out of it, but the biggest thing I would say there first is you are missing a very important mechanic with this suit, which is if you do his AC dash at a specific height, you basically get a free break cancel, and you get all your boosting. And that is actually the cornerstone of how the suit works, is if you don't do that specific movement sequence, you're not really getting much special out of this suit alone.
Recurring thing we see is maybe your melee choices aren't the safest. I think the 2 principal times we see you land melee attacks, you're getting cut. And like a lot of off-angle MGs kind of hurt you here.
Yeah.
Like you're able to still get a punish, but it's still a little awkward. I think you said you're new to BD1 too, so that's completely understandable.
Yeah, BD1 is actually a somewhat difficult suit, I feel, in terms of like learning the execution stuff. And then also learning when you want to time your activation mode.
I thought when you like slid and you kept the MG on Rex, that was like a good choice. Like I couldn't think of a better way to have done that.
Alright, but I guess
But I don't know BD1.
before I start covering Age 1, because I'm gonna say right now, all in all, that was rough. That was a rough match to be in, and I do not like blame you, because it's like you're using a lot of what makes BD1 like cool, but you're missing like the one main tool that he has. So let me show you if you don't know. So it's educational time, kids. Woo.
We have to fill in for the lost match.
Okay, so we are going to return to the main menu. Now, I'm not super good at doing this. However, hopefully I should be able to get it consistent enough. Because it's not like super hard, but you have to know about it, essentially. And it also helps with like staying on angle, but you still have to be able to stay on angle for like your like first shot. I also would definitely not really ever recommend fronting with this suit, in like a 2K comp unless you already have burst or exam active. And that's a lot of the time when you want to shift into those modes, is when it is your time to move the fuck up. But essentially, let me see, it's AC, so... It's not AC, it's BC.
It's basically.
BC, okay, there we go, BC, 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 BC. So... Right there. Notice how when I landed, I immediately just got all of my boost back. He has a cancel where, and you can like also during command dash, you can do sub. I flubbed every button possible because I'm playing on pad.
Damn.
Nice. Dude, playing on pad with this game is so hard because I also don't have any macros set.
Good lord.
Yo, I'm a god though. I have boost set to R1 and it's super, super comfy.
That... I can't imagine this.
So anywho. So if you do it from essentially like this height, where what you're doing is you're BCing and then you're falling to the ground while shooting or loading your machine gun. If you do that right, the moment you land, you immediately get all your boost back. And so essentially, what you're doing is you're harassing people with the fact that you have infinite boost. And it's super oppressive. And that's actually the cornerstone of BD1, is you harass people with machine gun, BC, and use the fact that you have infinite boost. And then when it's time... you just go the fuck in with exam and you just make people's lives terrible. Because exam lets you do a shit ton of damage when it's your time to actually do a swing. And then of course you have shot guard during this, where your BC dash lets you do all sorts of crazy shit. He gets like another command movement that I forget what the input is. It's like, fuck my brain. I don't play enough, but I know he has a command dash that lets you shot guard. But also this move is crazy in terms of like BC and burst, because if you're in burst, you can actually keep doing the command dash over and over to just swoosh around and overheat. So say for example you're in burst, you can just be like, nope, I'm not getting hit. Fuck that. So I can actually show an example of that just by restarting. So let me make sure I'm doing this right at least. So say for example, someone's coming at you, and you've already used up a ton of like your resources. You can just be all like, oh no, what do I do? And you just get all sorts of fucking movement that you can use to just like try to get away. And I guess that might only be... Hang on. I swear that you could do this in overheat. Hang on. I might be crazy. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There's the overheat movement. There's the overheat movement. Right there. Right there.
Slad.
And you just swoosh. And it lets you get full confirms. Even when you are in overheat, you cheat the system. Like, you can just cheat the system and just move in fucking overheat. I apologize. It's just somewhat hard to input on pad sometimes for me. Because I have to use pad to play on remote play.
I just like the animation for like how he's approaching. It's just like he's styling up on you or something.
Yeah. And yeah, an MS toss in exam is a fucking wonderful feeling. You can use 8. You can also use 8B to land. I'm pretty sure that that's also a decent option. I can't remember if it Pyeongkakus you or not. But 8B is an option. So you can do shit like 8B in a step. Oh, that actually does look like it might play on.
Looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like it gets you your boost back, so... Yeah! So you can do 8B, step into machine gun. And that's actually a decent option. Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. So let's see with like a lower boost gauge. If I could hit AP like a genius. Like a genius. I overheated because I'm a genius. Okay. Whoa. Yep. Even if you're in like lower boost gauge, the landing time is still more or less the same.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, okay. So you can use 8B step into machine gun, and you can also land that way. So there's a lot of options that this suit has, and you're going to notice that with a lot of 2Ks that are like really, really good. And so basically with a lot of 2Ks that are really, really good, and a lot of 3 and a lot of 1.5Ks that are really, really good, they have something usually that lets them cheat movement and basically just lets them do whatever the fuck they want. Usually whether that be through some sort of command dash, or something that lets them cheat overheat, or some really oppressive tool that makes up for the fact that they don't have quite as much movement as, say, like a regular 2.5K. Like with Delta Plus, for example, he doesn't have any like ridiculous movement tools, but he has infinite ammo, so he can just never stop shooting. Guard 8B while I CC to not do C. Oh, that's... Yeah. You know what? I'll point that out real quick, because that's actually really educational. For every suit, actually. Is, it's like what they said. There's this thing called a guard cancel 8B, where normally if you 8B towards someone while dashing, you do their CC 8B. And that is a melee that sometimes you don't want when you're dashing. So if you do... it's hard to do with delay. If you dash towards someone and you hit guard, which is 2 into 8, and then immediately hit 8B, you cancel the startup frames of the guard, but the guard cancels the dash state. So you end up essentially out of the dash state, so you can do an 8B out of a dash. And it's not super hard. It's just difficult to do on remote play with a pad. But that's essentially what it looks like right there.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there we go. I have the rhythm. And so that's really helpful for suits like Exia, where 8B is like literally a god button. And it's also helpful for BD1 because then that lets you use your 8B to cheat landings. And so that has been our little primer on BD1, because that feature of being able to cancel your movement is important. Like, his BC is literally the cornerstone of his kit. If you aren't using the BC command movement properly, you need to learn that to use this suit at, like, even lower levels. Because he goes the fuck in. You get it? It's so good. Yeah, let's go! Let's go! Yeah, good shit. If you get the BC... The biggest thing, though, is the BC break cancel, where you want to do it at a certain height, land while doing machine gun, and then you just get all of your boost back for free. This suit's degen as fuck, and it's really good. Like, this is a really good 2K.
Let's move on to age 1 now.
That is the idea. Let's make sure I pause so we don't get weird audio going on there. You main BD1 in full boost and didn't know about that. Oh yeah, he's definitely had this in full boost. He definitely had it in full boost. Although it wasn't quite as effective in full boost. Alright, so back to the main scene.
I think you had to more tightly time your BC.
Yeah, I think it was a lot harder in that game. Especially also because, like, you know, you had to do a hop to cancel anything out of a boost dash a lot of it, to step out of, like, boost dashes and shit.
Yeah.
So, I think that, literally that one change, I think made a lot of suits a lot better. But also, I hated having to hop to cancel a boost dash, because I'm a baby. Okay. So now to the age 1 perspective. There we go. Alright. Playing a bit of a safe back here.
this is some supportive play.
Mm-hmm.
Not getting hit by much. Get a little twinge there.
Alright. I have some
Yeah.
comments about the way you might want to be approaching the team comp, but I feel like a lot of that is just learned. Good BC. Now you're playing the suit.
Congratulations, that's 80% of age 1.
Yep. Okay, I like that. But then you got duffed by something.
Something. I think it was a missile from BD1.
I think so as well. Yeah, it totally looked like a missile from BD1. It was definitely a missile from BD1. That's tragic.
Because Hyperion doesn't have anything explosive.
Yeah, that's tragic. Oh no. Alright, you swap back into main mode.
You have a half burst you're sitting on, and you don't use it.
And with 2K2K, half bursts are even more important.
It's like that half burst probably could have extricated you from that half burst for Rex.
Yes.
Though Rex has the tail, so I don't know, I hate that tail.
I love that tail. Oh man. Alright, I feel like at this point you've stayed in normal mode for way too long.
Yeah, and the super was put you in a tight spot there.
Yeah.
You don't have a wide firing angle on age 1, so you really can't get benefit from being right above someone in normal mode.
Titus is the best. Oh god, no, I can't handle that slander. Oh lord. Okay, so off the bat, in terms of this comp, I feel your role should actually be reversed in this case.
Yeah.
Where BD1 should be the one backing, and Age 1 in Sparrow should be the one fronting.
Your machine gun suits are more often, in my opinion, going to be doing more to like force opponents to move rather than securing up front damage that a traditional front might. So for you not be more aggressive as Age 1 is probably something I would like disagree with.
And like that's just a small thing though, like, but it's something to definitely keep in mind.
I mean, I'll say I think it's a core strategic failure, but...
Well, I'm just talking about starting out. It's one of those things where, you know, at lower level it wouldn't quite matter as much, but then it will matter later on, like super.
Yeah. Later, hopefully, we're avoiding 2K compositions.
Well, you know, sometimes you want to meme with 2K.
No.
But yeah, in this case, you would want to front, and the big thing to keep in mind probably would be poke a little bit with normal mode, but then probably try to switch to Sparrow a little sooner, because you're actually doing work here with Sparrow.
I feel like you want to lure them in with normal mode, and then just pop Sparrow on them or something, and then it's like, hey, I'm suddenly untouchable.
Yeah, or 2K 1.5, or you'd be doing like 2K 1.5 or 2.5 1.5.
Like 2K 1.5k more than 2K 2K.
Oh yeah, 2K 2.5 1.5 I feel is very strong. Ooh.
I really just wish you had tried to burst there.
Yeah.
I think maybe you thought, oh, if I burst I'll just die, but you have to take that chance.
Sometimes you really do.
If you don't burst, you definitely would die, and you did. Sadly,
but at least now you're using the burst, but then the big issue is you never make it out of normal mode, so you can't really utilize F-burst super well.
If you were like F-burst Sparrow and BCing across the map, that'd probably be scary.
That would be much scarier, but like, the issue I feel with normal mode is really okay. I can't even say he's like super good. I think he is okay at the edge of Redlock.
I personally only like Garo BR normal mode. Like, that's the only draw I have for it.
And literally, what I do is when I play this suit, match start, I greenlock Garo at the start of the match. I then switch to Sparrow. Because Sparrow has better movement, better melee, generally just better tools, and just, it's a much more solid suit for even just moving around. Like, it can even play neutral better because it has its hot melee. because like normal age 1 is just, and that's like the worst thing about age 1 is it's a pack swap suit, but like you have to be in like you have to be in Sparrow for like almost all of it, I feel, because it's like the best draw of the suit. Oh shit, Phantom Yosha, thank you for the raid. How goes it? Everyone in chat, feel free to follow Yosha. He puts out some goddamn good Gundam content.
He does.
I like hopping into his lobbies when I have time. But I never have time for anything.
Big mood.
But yeah, in general, the big thing that I would focus on with age 1 is just more Sparrow for just moving around. Yeah, I feel like in this match was just a good example of like, there are people like, you know, that sometimes just don't move right, but then there are also some times where you're just kind of not quite using the suit as effectively as you could.
Yeah.
And this is kind of just like, this entire match actually just came down to both people were kind of just missing tools.
Yeah. You want to take a look at Hyperion and Rex?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yosha gave us the benefit of rating. We may as well.
I was about to
do a
say,
little
I
more.
could actually find that F91 replay.
Oh yeah, you could find
'Cause it's
that.
on remote play. I have it. Well, it'll be a little weird because we can't really pause and go like we normally would, but it's fine.
Well, we'll be doing it the old way. I have it locked. Let me find the exact one.
Okay, because I should still have it. So, because the last one messed up a little bit, we're going to be going the old-fashioned way for this last replay. For Mr. F91-san. Give us
Here
the
we
C-Book
go.
hype shouts. Was it X1 F91?
I don't think it was. Give me a minute.
Hi.
Play some Hyperion, and that'll be a good example of any aspiring machine gun users.
Oh god, my Hyperion doesn't exist.
I meant my Hyperion.
Oh, okay, you meant the replay. You know what?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. All right, so we'll go back to the main scene, and we'll show off the Hyperion. So here's how you can MG.
I am sitting on a dope Hyperion replay for you guys
Oh baby,
in the future.
Your
It's like
your
this
MLG
is-
Hyperion.
This is a key example of all the right things to do and how to use your tools.
Is it me or did Twitch change chat font again? I have no idea. Yeah, this is a lot of MG, and then Barbatos is just chilling. All right. Alright. Oh shit. Ah. Okay, shit was fucking me over there for a second. There we go. So okay, lots of safe movement, lots of sticking to the back. Greenlock Garrow to try to catch some sloppy movement. Sophisticated MS has beam shield and Bruce. Bruce.
They did.
Good landing
Very-
punch with the Gatto beam. But like, I want to point out right here, like a situation like this actually could have been pretty well avoided if you had known about the BC tech. If you'd known about the BC tech with BD1, you potentially could have gotten away from this Ghetto B punish.
You would have avoided the overheat that punished you here.
Exactly. So like in that situation, not knowing about that BD1 tech kind of bit you in the ass. And then you just get punished, but then you get punished. Ace. Goes for a knockdown.
I deserve it.
We love man, we all do.
I'm Kennard. He
But
gets
now-
nothing good. But here we go. I see him coming. I pop BC, and I go in the offensive.
And then you shot guard the machine gun because you're a hero. That doesn't cheat at all.
Kennard is the hero of our story. Tragic hero.
Oh man, it's too bad that Angry Kira has no HP for a 2.5k. I keep forgetting that this thing is a 2.5 because it has literally the HP of a piece of soggy bread.
It's honestly the pits, but here we go. A half burst, and I use it to put out some damage. I see the super, so I just kind of like.
You just swoosh out
Dodge.
like, nah, I don't want to be here, fam.
It's like, I know how this works. I'm not falling for it.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. You don't feel the individual shots of a machine gun, but they definitely rack up over time. And then when you do finally get staggered, once you get staggered by an MG, you're just like, oh no, this is awful. And then suddenly you take like a gajillion damage and a knockdown that lasts what feels like 5 years because of the way that everything just goes.
I have a replay.
Okay.
I hate to disappoint you. I was confused. It was not F91. It was New Gundam and G-Self.
Okay, New Gundam G-Self?
It is...
Oh, I know why you want to pull this up. Okay. So during this session, I think my favorite team that I got to play against was the G-Self New Gundam team. Part of it because the New Gundam player was exceptionally good. Like, I picked
really good.
And like, he basically dumpstered me the first game, like super fucking hard. Like, it was not even a contest.
We're looking for the third game of this.
What was the date on that replay?
October 3rd, 2020.
Okay.
Match time 22 hours, 20 minutes.
October 3rd. Alright. Yeah, I think it was on the latter half. Okay, that's too far.
October 3rd, 2220.
Alright, I found it. So.
That's it.
Here we go. We're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way, so I apologize. We won't be able to give quite as much of the in-depth analysis as we normally would.
Yeah, but we'll make it work.
We will make it work. And it starts on the New Gundam's perspective. Okay, so before we start, I am pulling up chat. These replays aren't just for show. New replay wa date janai. Alright, there we go. And so this is my new, but that's not what we want to see. We want to pull up Genesis.
Was it Genesis?
Yeah, it was Genesis.
Oh, you're right.
Alright, so Genesis here. The first match was this is the third match. So this is the one we actually won. But this is the third match. First match he dumpstered me. And I realized that I had to play a lot more safe and couldn't just boost for it.
Okay, like your charge shot uses.
He actually explained to me the reasoning behind his charge shot uses is that he would do things like CSA, cancel into bazooka, and then CSB, and then cancel into another bazooka. So he got to do insanely long boost efficiency.
It's good.
Alright, so he's just chilling back. He's playing some pretty safe neutral. He's using a lot of boost sometimes. But overall, he's doing some good movement and minimizing the amount of damage that he takes.
For the most part.
Yeah, and then he goes in.
There we go.
For a very safe melee confirmation.
He has a half burst he could be using.
And he just
Here he goes.
Yep. Oh shit, I just realized you aren't seeing this on the Discord.
No, I knew. So.
See, the thing is, I can actually fix that. So, we're going to... Apologies, fellas. We're going to stop the stream in Discord. And... There you go. Now you should get a much more on-time version.
How nice of you.
I'm so sorry. I completely forgot about that.
Thank you, kind sir.
Yeah, I have some more. Alright. First. But overall, the New Gundam used their half burst, and they made it count decently well. They didn't drop in burst, so that way they are almost ready for another half burst.
You're doing clean interceptions for your partner.
But then, like, the G-Self... Because, like, you were doing really well, but then the G-Self went a little too aggressive. And honestly, I think the only thing I could point out from that first bit was you were still doing a habit that we both brought up where... God fucking damn it. Oh my god, I have to go all the way back. I hate life.
You passed. There we go.
There we go.
Oh.
I hit circle because I've been playing Genshin Impact, and circle is in that game. I find the easy mains like Zeta had kind of equals and I feel like shooting burst on things like Zeta just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't use Zeta.
Okay, so back to Genesis, because I kind of want to break a couple of things apart. So, literally the two biggest issues I felt that he had, and he was already working on kind of correcting them, was when
like
he was,
I like those funnels you had there, but not these.
yeah, he was chucking all of his funnels at once, and then that takes away a lot of the teeth from this suit.
It does.
Because for those that don't know, with funnel suits, you're not usually chucking out funnels in an attempt to get a knockdown or get big damage. You're using it as like a starter, where if someone chooses to Vernier and do something unsafe, you want the funnels to be able to automatically cover that movement. So essentially, if the funnels do hit, then you're able to go in and get it confirmed. So for those that play like DBFZ or Marvel, you can think of the funnels kind of like an assist that you use to control some space and let them kind of play neutral for you for a little bit, essentially.
And while it's still paused, I was like, Genesis had said that he was using, like, you said it earlier, he was using like both charge shots, and that sometimes he sends out the funnels a lot, while trying to like get one of the cancels off on it, right? I think if you like really focus more on using the charge shots independent of each other, because I'm not really sure New as a toolkit needs that much of a boost string in most cases.
I would agree with that.
I think he's like I'm impressed that you optimize your boost usage and cancel routes that much. But I think that's maybe not so much needed, and you can probably gain more in your neutral play by just focusing on using the charge shots as like different styles of punish.
But like for me personally, I mostly just focus on CSB because I feel like CSB is a very, very strong tool.
Oh, it's really good. It mixes beam and physical, like ballistic weapons. It's incredible.
Empty all 6 shots from the man as opposed to only 3. Oh god, I'm a little baffled by what Dingo is saying.
Yeah, they're saying that like you get a lot more use out of the Mega Launcher, which is true.
Okay. Wait, is Mega Launcher CSA or CSB?
Oh, sorry. They're talking about Zeta still.
Oh, they're talking about Zeta? Okay, I got so confused. Never mind, ignore me. Ignore me, I'm a fool. I don't know move names for anything. I just know CSA, CSB.
Yeah, like a lot of back turn mains earlier that hurt your boost efficiency, but you get a good punish on G-Self.
Good punish. You cover that landing beautifully with Pyramid and then turn it right off, and that is textbook new.
It
You end up
is
using a little too much boost there,
a little too much on the funnel.
but that's fine. I didn't manage to get a full punish because I'm pretty
Good.
sure I was afraid of your partner.
Good main cancel from CSB.
Alright, you still have a full Pyramid for whenever you want to cover your next landing. That was such a good swerve. You minimized a lot of damage that you could have taken with that. Good use of Pyramid to work your way in.
Like, I think you're handling all your engagements great.
And then Shooting Burst. And you're going to force some damage. I used Pyramid because of Shooting Burst.
You almost had him till I camped you.
No, I know. I was so sad when you did that. And then we died simultaneously.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell this game was anime. And so far, you're actually doing pretty good here. You're trying to work your way back in. I don't agree with the funnel usage there. But now you're focused on G-Self. You get the knockdown, and then this is when your partner pays for trying to bail you out.
And I think like a major drawback is just our G-Self here, who we'll look at in a minute.
Yes.
He's probably like overcommitting a bit.
But overall, Genesis, I don't know if you're still in chat. If you are, you did very, very, very well. and I am not going to really give you all that much shit. Like I said, when we first played, I was hella impressed by your level of gameplay. And
Yeah, I think
was
you're doing
not
really good.
expecting someone like that to actually show up to the session. So I felt real good about getting to play you, to the point where I want to play you more. Like, I hit circle. Circle is not confirmed. I do not live in Japan. Oh my god.
Muffler just said he doesn't want to play with the rest of you guys. How does that make you feel?
I want to play with everyone, goddammit. Don't put words in my mouth, you fiend. Who are you? What have you done with my best friend Ace, who would not slander me like this?
I don't know. I don't think you ever knew Ace.
Damn, son.
A little hurt.
Damn, son.
Red
Damn,
is
son.
dodging.
Yo, I'm stepping everything. We are currently in a rainbow war. Alright, let's find... There we go. So this is Loops. Loops is a dude that tends to... I've seen him in the stream a few times. He's a friend of Violent Senpai. He's a really rad dude. He's relatively new, though. So far,
It's like,
doing
here
a
you go.
pretty
You're
decent
pulling
job
it
of
out.
staying back.
Yeah, you're skirting the edge of red lock.
Used
You
a
just
little
get-
too much boost there.
You just get pegged, really.
Yeah.
A little too much boost again. Now we're in the space pack, but you move into the Garo, but your partner interrupts it. I want to see a few more chain firing.
See, I wouldn't even say chain firing because you use up so much of your ammo. So honestly, I'm just gonna say this real quick before we continue. The way I would use Space Pack in this situation, I would literally go into Space Pack, fire Garoby, and then go back to normal pack. Or go into Reflector Pack, fire Garoby, go back into Space Pack.
I don't totally agree. I mean, it's just how I play it. I use a little more of the chain firing.
Because the big thing he should be doing here is this. This is what he needs more of. There has been a criminally low amount of MA, especially with how much like everyone has been looking at New Gundam.
Yeah.
He definitely needs more MA mode because MA mode. Because the biggest thing about this suit is you have your 3 packs, and you have to be able to alternate between all 3 of them very well.
I didn't like that overheat Garo.
The overheat Garo was really not great, but I do like how he almost recovered from it using
He did, yeah, he did his best.
And then
It's like over here, you're definitely making a push you should not be making.
yes, that was a push you shouldn't have done. And I'm gonna say personally, the biggest thing that I would change about your approach to that match, you should be more willing to just kind of stay back. And instead of trying to poke as much with just space or just reflector, legit poke for a little bit in space. If you notice that you have an opportunity for the Garo, switch to reflector, fire the Garo, get it on cooldown, land, switch back to space, and then, oh hey, what's that? You notice a lot of people aren't looking at you, or you have the space to move around. Go into MA mode, because MA mode has potentially, if not just like his best tools in my opinion. His MA mode is actually insane.
Yeah, I wanted to see more MA mode.
Because you only used it twice. You went into MA mode only twice, and that's kind of damning when you have MA mode Garoby, MA mode Purge, MA mode Melee, MA mode Missiles are also very good. Like, everything in his MA mode is actually incredible.
I'm not a fan of the missiles, personally.
The missiles are really good for just, like, poking right at the edge of Redlock. Like, the tracking on them is, like, okay. And, like, in general, they're just good to just dump. Because it's, like, I'm pretty sure they're vernierless, so you don't exactly stop moving to fire them.
They are vernierless.
So you're able to just sort of fire them, and I think they're a cancel chain as well. So I think you could do like missiles into Garo.
Anyway, yeah, no, I still like Reflector Plaque more, just because I think you get like a really good charge shot from it, and you can keep the pack folded so you're not slow.
Yeah, exactly. And then I would also agree that if you're in Reflector Pack, I just wouldn't bother Zundaing and just chain shooting would be better.
Now that was a good attempt at it, but because I had Reflector R and I was ready to block, and then Goose Swan into you, whatever it is.
Swan dive.
Swan dive.
And so right now you're kind of just in a bad position where you're using a lot of boost. I think that's honestly also the biggest thing, other than just the obvious. You're not using X tool with your suit. Is you're using all of your boost.
It's kind of like
overextending.
it feels like you're not sure that you need to be doing anything right then, and then you just end up boosting a lot.
Yo, these Toho tracks have like no actual volume control set to them. Holy shit.
Oh, did it just get loud?
It got loud as fuck for a second. Oh yeah, I've been playing with him. Loops a bit. No, yeah, Loops is a good dude. Loops is a good ass dude. From what I have played with him. But I'm gonna go through that replay one more time, because there's definitely a few more things I would like to point out, and just, you know, because of our current format, it's definitely a little stifling because we didn't get the recording, but it's no biggie.
It's no biggie.
We're making it work. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Going for Kermit?
I mean, I can.
Holy heck. What are you doing here, Kermit? What did you do with Nick?
Lala Soon could have been my mother, Amuro.
Soon.
So anyway, like right here at the beginning of the match, Loops, I think this is actually the best you played.
I like this. Like,
and
I like
think if you had done more of this, I think you would have had a better chance of like making that game a lot closer or clinching that out. And okay, so right there, for instance, I had used up a lot of boost, or New Gundam had used up a lot of boost, and I wasn't currently looking at you. That would have been a good situation to either pop into Reflector, which you did do, but it was a little late, or the choice that I would probably prefer is to go into MA mode, get a little closer, fire Garo to punish a landing or a Vernier attempt, or try to call out something, and then just swoosh the fuck out with Purge. And I think if you had done that, you would have been in a much safer position, because doing something like MA Garo into Purge is actually a decently safe string. Like, overall. Or a decently safe sequence, because I'm pretty sure the Purge, I think, cuts tracking. And if not, it definitely moves you in a way where you're still decently hard to shoot. Alright, Garo into Swan. I would honestly just maybe focus on doing Garo and then just land it. Probably save Swan Dive as a trump card. Also, I just realized, you didn't use pressure at all.
Yeah, there's a lack of pressure, but just in this match, I don't think
He didn't really have like a good opportunity to use much.
I didn't really feel a good opportunity for me to use it, so I didn't.
It's definitely harder for him to use it because like his melee tools kind of aren't great, which I do see. I am thankful for that, where you aren't just trying to approach it melee a ton, but you're also getting way closer than you need to.
In the situations, yeah, in the situations where I would feel like, oh, I could use pressure here, I'm thinking more of like, oh, I'll just hit them with sub. And Space Pack, of course.
Oh, yeah. And then you made that really good push there, even if it wasn't great.
You don't use your cancel from the mobile armor mode. You kind of boost dash out of it.
Oh, you're talking about he's not using the cancel. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can use BC to like cancel out of a mobile armor move.
Yeah,
and fast fall with main from that.
Ooh.
And yeah, because it has a fast fall from main.
Okay,
Um,
okay. I actually didn't know
yeah.
that one.
Purge main, and you just like get a smooth glide down. And I think like that would have actually changed like your view, like your literal view on the target,
Mm-hmm.
and you maybe wouldn't have committed as much as you did.
Because the big thing there is like you had spawned and then you immediately tried to boost in to save your partner, but your partner still had a lot of HP left. So,
Yeah.
and for a suit like G Self, I think the two biggest things to keep in mind: one, making sure that you're okay. So suit perspective and then player perspective. For suit perspective on this, make sure you're kind of staying back more because this is a suit that can't really do a lot super close. Its best tools are definitely far away, and it has enough far away support tools to be a threat. So don't be afraid to just kind of chill back, pick your shots with Reflector Pack Garrow, MA Mode Garrow, poking with Space Pack main, stuff like that, or like even like Space Pack Assist. And then, let me see here. Definitely also using just, and this goes into staying back as well to a degree, utilizing your full toolkit. Because I feel that you could have had a much better time if you had chilled, but also used more of MA mode Garrow. Because like the biggest weakness of G-Self is if you aren't cycling through all of his packs, he runs out of ammo way too fast. Because Reflector Pack main and normal main share ammo, and if they didn't, that suit would be broken. But like, so the biggest thing that I always hear from Holly is you want to, use Space Pack as your main part of the suit. If you go into Reflector Pack, you go into Reflector Pack in like neutral, for instance, when you don't have like a huge purpose and you're just in neutral and like cycling through your tools. You go into Reflector Pack, you fire Garrowby, and then you swap back to Space Pack, and then you save the rest of the tools. But you basically just make sure that you get the Garrowby on cooldown, so that way you can use it again later. And then you want to just poke more with MA mode missiles, MA mode Garrowby. In fact, you know what? I'm saying a lot. I feel like it would be better if I just sort of like showed it off a little bit. And I feel like that would be a good way to just get my point across, and then we can probably just end for the night.
All right. I was gonna say I want to look at the same match from our perspectives.
Oh, we can totally do that. Then we can also just look at the match from our perspective, because oh man, that new Gundam play is gonna be spooky from my perspective, because I just sort of went gorilla. In that second match we had, I definitely went a little less gorilla, but it was still definitely some gorilla DNA in there somewhere. All right, G-Self, E-Burst, because I'm going to pick meta as hell. Okay. So then after this, we can just look over our perspective, and I feel like that would be a good thing to potentially close out on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not great with G-Self. I'm just going to point that out right now. I just know a lot of the theory behind the suit, because I've heard Holly and Irissa talk about it a lot. Where essentially it's a lot of, oh yeah, you don't even have Garrowby at the start.
Yeah,
so,
no, it has to charge.
So you move around a lot with Space Pack. You can poke with assist, and assist is pretty good. You can do main into assist as a cancel chain, which is nice. Main sub is pretty alright. But then, like, say for example, if you're wanting to poke from far off, like, just be all like, eh.
It has a longer red lock.
Oh god, I missed the cancel.
See how it grew?
Ah, yeah, I can see that. Okay, so
So Space Pack says you're in green lock, but really you're in red lock.
Yeah.
Full armor is abusive.
and like a good thing that you can do when people aren't looking at you is just like, if you don't have Garrowby up, don't be afraid to just like swoosh out some missiles. They're free. If they get duffed by them, that's a little bit of extra damage. You can potentially confirm it into something. Because I know that you can at the very least cancel it into Purge. So if you want to be safe, you can just like throw out some missiles and then purge. Oh my god.
Can you not get it?
No, that Garabi just took forever. Oof.
You missed the fast fall, my man.
No, I was fucking up the input because I'm like, oh, I know about this suit in theory, but I forget what moves are on the way. I know you can also use main as like a latch ditch effort to get downs on people, and it actually shares different ammo than your regular main, and you can rapid fire it, which is actually kind of good. But let me see here. So you can do. Okay, so you can't cancel sub into AC. But like I said, AC is like really good. Sub is okay to just sort of throw out just because it's there. You can use it. This melee is actually incredibly high priority. So if you're like close to someone and you're seeing that they're trying to melee you or they aren't looking at you, just be like, bitch, no. You are not coming toward me. That melee is insane priority. Like, no one's fucking with you. And then pretty sure that downs.
What is the dark history that is Mobile Armor's charge shot main?
Let's find out. I think it's just a volley? Oh, it's like a charge shot that you can manually aim.
Just use that.
The thing is, though, you have to, I think, completely manually aim it.
It is completely manual. It has a small hitbox. I hate it.
Ooh.
Delete that, please.
But let's see. Like, the biggest thing that I would say, and I think it's honestly the draw of this suit a lot of the time, is just
Garabi,
and then BC, and then BC Purge. And
don't forget the main.
Okay, yeah, BC Purge main, sorry. So, I have both of them down. And the thing is, a lot of what this suit has is just long cooldowns, and that's why what you're going to be doing is like, okay, I'm going to use Space Pack, and I'm going to dump a lot of my ammo out on people. Okay, I've dumped a lot of my ammo out from Space Pack. Now I'm going to go into MA mode, and I'm going to dump some of the shit that I have on that. Or I'm going to go into Reflector Pack and dump a lot of the shit that I have for my, like, Garo and shit. It's like, you dump the Garo. Okay, cool. Now, you're going to go into MA mode. And you're going to dump all of the shit that you have for MA mode. And then once you're done with that, you go back into Space Pack. And you're going to dump all the ammo they have from there. And what you're going to do is you're going to be cycling through, like, non-stop, trying to make sure that you keep your ammo up while also trying to, like, contribute and not going too far in. And that's, like, the most layman way that I can put it. It's not like the end-all be-all of the suit. You're not going to be constantly like, oh, if I'm not switching packs or something all the time, then I'm failing with the suit. No. It's just that is, I feel, just a good way to start approaching the suit, if only because it will get you used to using everything. Because he has a lot of tools that he has to make use of. There we go.
He did it!
I did the
It's
thing.
so clean.
And I'm pretty sure everything cancels into BC Purge.
Yeah.
So it's pretty handy. And also the BC Purge, if they try to like melee into you, they can actually run into the backpack and it can explode on them and do a shit ton of damage.
Backpack Itadaki.
But yeah, essentially, and then you have 2B, which is pressure. And pressure is pretty good.
Comes out pretty fast.
And then you have 8B, which is shot guard, and it's not very good. But it has shot guard, so you know what? You already have a lot of tools that a lot of other suits don't. But yeah, be willing to just stay back. Poke with Garabi, and then just start cycling through all your other options.
Let's finish this up.
I did a completely wrong sequence there, but essentially, that's kind of how I think you want to approach G-Self in the simplest way that I can manage on a PlayStation 4 pad that I do not know how to play on. Alright, but let's finish this up by looking through our perspective on that match. And if you're watching Loops, feel free to hit me up on Discord or ask a question in chat. Or if you're seeing the VOD later, feel free to hit me up on Discord or for any sort of like advice or anything, or even if you just want to say hi.
Yeah, I play a lot of new and G Self.
Alright.
Gone too far. Too far.
I did go too far. Yeah. There we
Almost
go.
there.
And we're going to be looking for our perspective on this match?
Yeah.
Yeah. New or G-Self first?
Let's start our new.
Okay. I think it's already on me, so... Alright, and so this is me just being like, I'm gonna be kind of gun-shy and not worry immediately on trying to make an opening. I eat shit to his funnels for a little bit.
You do, because they're well placed.
And then I kind of calm down and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna hesitate on throwing the funnels for a little bit more. Try to find a better spot. And mostly just trying to go in and out and trying to just not commit.
I like that cancel chain.
Oh yeah, I felt real good about that. Not gonna lie. And so I was like about to be like, oh, I want to throw some funnels, and so I pop shield. Alright. And so what you'll notice here is like I'm just not wanting to approach, and instead I'm just wanting to try to force the neutral game and force a wall. Because I have no real reason to approach, because the last time I tried to approach this guy, he duffed me, and I didn't want to have a repeat of that last game.
And you're like,
did something happen to your mic? Hello, Ace?
Nice.
Okay, now
Hello?
I can hear you. Now I can
Oh,
hear
sorry. Sorry, I was saying, like, yeah, you were kind of like trading fronting between yourself and G-Self a bit.
Pretty much. Because, like, I knew I could not approach him consistently because his self-defense was so good, so I was forced to just play the neutral game.
That was a good half burst.
I'm a little low on health, but I knew I could get away with it because I had shield up, which went
It's-
into my decision-making.
It was still your best bet. It's like, even if you had low health, burst was your best survival.
No, exactly. And it was mostly just because I knew I had shield, I didn't have to worry about G-Self cutting me. And I knew that because he was using shooting burst new, he was less likely to try to just melee me. And then we got the team combo because we are nice.
Yeah, you just kept... We kept a tighter formation overall, I think, and I think that kind of played into what swung it to our favor.
But overall, the tighter formation was definitely... Tight formation can actually get you very far. If you are willing to stick together and not just try to divide off into double 1v1s, even though double 1v1s is what the game will kind of turn into at higher level in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
being able to also keep a tight formation can also keep a lot of other shit in check.
Even at higher levels, like, you'll be in, like, this sort of 1v1 sort of state until the bursts start coming out. And that's when you'll see more team interplay.
Exactly. And then there are certain team comps like Darkhound Reborns, where they can literally just afford to stick together and hold a defensive line like super hard, and you just have to fight your way through that, and it's misery inducing. I almost hit circle again.
Alright, let's see it through my G-Self play, since we had the most contentions with Loop's G-Self. They still did pretty good.
No, they definitely did good. Like, literally, it's, again, just... There's just other tools that they could be using, I feel.
Yeah. So here we go.
Alright, playing nice and slow.
Just waiting to get into range. There we go, a second impact of charge shot.
Nice.
And I'm looking for that, and I see my sub-weapon is up. Camp it.
Alright, and then... I'm actually surprised you're still in space. Or, not space. I'm surprised you're still in reflector attack at this point.
I'm going to use most of my main ammo and a lot of charge shots because I like the charge shot.
Okay. I think that's actually pretty valid.
And I like having access to SWAT because of this. I block into SWAT.
Oh god, that was really spooky. See what I do.
And I'm not afraid of New. I don't see him looking at me.
That's fair.
And here I go looking at New.
Wow, I can't believe my partner got me murdered. Great. Anyways. I deserved it.
I'm just here for the win.
This man actually never left reflector pack.
No, yeah. That's what I meant when I really like reflector pack.
Jesus Christ, you never left reflector pack. What the fuck?
I mean, I feel like if someone isn't putting like direct pressure on me, there's not a lot of need for me to have space pack on.
Oh, I was thinking more along the lines of using more MA mode.
Yeah, well, you can go from reflector into MA mode. So when I like see a good timing for MA mode Scarabee, like it's a pretty good option. But yeah, no, I don't feel inclined to use the main too much, mainly because I don't like that it keeps me still. If I want to be kept still, I feel like I want to be using something like a Garrowbee.
Yeah.
Like basically just a Garrowbee or a knockdown charge shot.
I would say the best thing to use with like MA mode, honestly, at just like lower levels before you kind of learn everything with it, is just pop in MA mode, Garrowbee, and then just purge fast fall out. Yeah,
the learning Garrowbee purge fast fall is probably the best thing you can do in G Self. It's like that's gonna be like a big source of your really clutch punishes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we saw a lot of good stuff, and hopefully everyone else did too today.
Yeah, and also I should say right now, thank you all so much for the people that actually joined the class. Sorry that this replay review was a little slapdashed. Today has been wild, and I didn't know what was happening today. But we managed to get it all together fairly quickly.
Dude, you don't even want to know all my work drama.
Oh baby, same.
God,
I had a lot of shit that I was going that I had to do today, but you know what? It all worked out. It
happened. We got it.
So now, this cool transition is back.
I think if people are expecting for the next session, I don't want to say it's on Halloween because I don't know what the heck Gundam players do on Halloween. So maybe
it wouldn't be on Halloween. It'd be next month, wouldn't it?
I would be aim like the 7th. I was saying like if we took a week off like we did with the last one.
Okay, gotcha. So it would be either on the 31st or the 7th.
I think the 7th might be just more accessible to people because I don't know what some people would be doing. Maybe they have kids and they want to do some Halloween stuff with their kids.
Yeah, that's fair. You know? I'm thinking the 7th might be the best time, but we'll see what happens.
So yeah, we will get back to you guys on the exact date. I'm advocating the 7th right now, but if it changes, we'll let you know. I think in the meantime, if not Black Dynamite, I will do like some beginner lobbies on the weekend, and I'll try to figure out some timings for that, and I'll get back to you guys in the until next month. And we'll be playing this. We'll be finding a way to put this up on our YouTube channel, and the VOD will be available shortly after if you're just just tuning in to see that you missed something you may want to have seen.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Whoa, this is a name. I cannot read this name because it is in Japanese.
Rain time? What?
I don't know. They're saying they are a Giga casual player, so they seem like they might be relatively new. I'm looking for a person to raid, essentially.
Oh, what's their Twitch channel URL or something?
Let's see. Chicken Bake.
Oh, Chicken Bake.
Yeah.
Chicken Bake, I think I remember them being a pretty strong player. That wouldn't be a bad example, I don't think.
Alright, because I'm basically looking for someone to raid, so I guess I can raid Chicken Bake.
I think if they're, I mean, if they're the only one playing Inbon, may as well.
Yeah, it's like that and between a guy named Michael Dink.
I think it's Chicken Bake's lucky day.
Alright, well, anywho, before I head off, we'll be doing another one of these soon. Hopefully, I will also just link the URL to his channel real quick, so that way you can just easily put in the raid command, because it's Chicken Bake, but it's spelled weird. Anywho.
I know this guy.
Oh, okay, cool. But anywho, thank you all so much. Before we go, I guess it's time for the plugs. If you are not in the Discord, feel free to hop in, which, I guess I can post a link here real quick. I gotta be quick about it.
I canceled it. I didn't realize it was going to be like a 8-second countdown.
Let's see. Copy link. It's okay. We can like get the raid like right after, so it's no big. So if you're not in the Discord, I recommend that you join. There's a lot of newer players, so you can, if you are new to the game or want to learn the game, that I think is one of the best communities. Everyone is super welcoming. What player are you? I am Red Muffler Man, unless you're talking... Okay, you're talking about in-game. Sorry, I'm a bit confused. But anyhow, I feel like the community for Newtype Academy is actually fantastic for learning the game. Everyone's super friendly, and in general, it's just a good time to have by everyone.
If you end up with a specific question that you can direct, then I'll do my best to answer it. As well, anyone else that thinks they know or knows.
Big same.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, I guess, is you can also follow me on Twitter, and I am also on Twitch, both just being Red Muffler Man. And if you ever want to ask me something, I also stream Gundam on Mondays and Tuesdays. If you ever want to hop onto lobbies and just chill, that's kind of just my big shtick, is I just like streaming Mbon on Mondays and Tuesdays now. But other than that, yeah. Hop into the Discord. Let's all have a good time. Let's all learn together. We are all Newtype brethren. And do you have anything else that you need to say or plug, Ace?
I think you covered the key things there. Any other broadcasts we'll be doing on this channel, we'll try to announce it a day or two ahead.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little behind the ball on this one, so sorry, but I was sick for like 2 days anyways. But I'm feeling much better now, so thankfully we were able to get it done. But check out Red Muffler Man's Twitch. He streams more than I do. It is a little more reliable.
I mean, but Ace is a better player though, so you get your trade-offs.
I don't get to play though. So if you go to my Twitch page, it's literally I'm just a busy scientist. I don't. If I'm streaming, it's a treat.
But anywho, that's all the plugging I guess I would have to do. So yeah, I guess we're basically ready to raid.
Yeah, let's go. Say hi to Chicken Bake.
All right, but
goodbye, everybody.
Have a good one, everyone.